Lock, some of the Gunsmoke, some of those, like anything but that
Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, man, the old school shows. Like, give me anything. Dynasty, like anything that was on TV other than that, I was watching.
When those shows were on, the Cowboys were really good.
Yeah, they were, right?
Yeah.
Remember Dallas back in the day? J.R. Ewing, man, but they are not relevant anymore. And I'm watching that game, and we're going to deep dive into it. But, the play calling that Dallas had, I think it was a 3rd and 5, and they hand it off to the fullback, and Fred Warner lights him up in the gap there. And I'm just like, they aren't good. Outside of CeeDee Lamb, and he's the one that sort of made it interesting in the second half there in the end. But Dak's not even good right now.
He's struggling.
Yeah.
I was feeling that way about the 49ers a little bit in the first half, too. It's like, this doesn't look right. Brock doesn't look right. But then in the second half, it seemed like they were able to find some of that fearlessness again. Like, let's just go out and play. And as you say, Dallas still made it a game with that late touchdown, and they had a chance when they got the ball back to do some more damage. But at least the 49ers looked more 49er-ish in the second half.
Yeah, they did. And,
especially that third quarter, obviously.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, I know Dak threw a couple of picks.
That's what he does.
In the first half. But I thought defensively, there was some poor tackling by the Niners in that first half. I thought that was going to be the narrative of our show. Like, man, Purdy doesn't look sharp. I mean, he had a 3rd down, I think it was, or it might have even been a 4th down. Threw it behind Debo.
Yeah, way behind him.
Yeah, and I'm just like, he just doesn't look good. But then to your point, second half, I thought the offensive line did a great job, run blocking. That opened things up. Purdy using his legs. We saw that again, and it looked like a different team. I will say, can we give, I think, the secondary some credit, though? And I understand it's going against a Dallas team that just isn't good. But Malik Mustafa, I thought, was phenomenal. The touchdown that he broke up.
Great play.
When it was 7-3.
You got some playmakers back there now.
Exactly. Hold on here. My guy Mo's bringing up some soda for us. Dog, I said Diet Coke, kid. You knew that, bro. You knew that. Mo's like, dude, I got to make this walk up these steps again.
Thank you.
Here you go, Whitey.
Thank you. I appreciate
Cokes,
that.
Big fella.
Wow.
Your lucky day. You're lucky.
Upset. I'm going to be amped today. Amped for a win.
So are you feeling, I mean, are Niners fans, should they feel good? Or it's like, okay, we aren't playing our best, but we're 4-4 and we got the bye week and reinforcements are on the way.
Relief is what Niner fans should feel.
Yeah.
Like, whew, you know what? That wasn't great to this point. Could have been a lot worse. Now things are set up with a break, with hopefully McCaffrey coming back. You can still make something special of this season. So to me, it's more relief than anything. I think they're going to have to make a trade if they're going to really make a run this season. But, they got a little
what
time.
kind of position, though? What are we talking about?
They need help on the defensive line and maybe a receiver.
Maybe a receiver. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I know Ricky P looked halfway decent, but no, I'm with you about the defensive line because too many times, and especially in the first half, too many times the second and third level guys had to make tackles or had to make plays instead of the front four getting after it. And against a good team, that's not going to work. Against the Cowboys,
exactly,
you can get away with it. But against, Buffalo, when we see them, Tampa, when we see them coming up, even though they're a little bit banged up, I think to your point, and now's the perfect time. Make a move now. You got the bye week. You got some extra time to work somebody into your system, get them up to speed. And so you're right, man. This week, John Lynch might be a busy man.
Yeah, trade deadline is November 5th. There's something else going on November 5th, but I can't.
Yeah, big fella. Your boy's ready for it. Casting my ballot, no doubt about that.
You haven't voted yet?
Nah, because I'm worried. I'm worried. Did you hear about what happened in Washington and Oregon with the ballot boxes being lit on fire and damaged? And that? Yeah, so I'm worried. I don't want any issues with my ballot. So
okay.
I'm going straight there. I will wait in line and cast my vote.
See, my wife was just opposite. She was so concerned. She's like, we got to get our votes in now. So
really,
she was that her anxiety was, let's make sure we get it in.
I could see it both ways.
Yeah.
But best believe we voting though. I mean,
absolutely.
Whether you vote now or you vote, although they do have the walk-in voting. You could do like pre-walk-in voting instead of just mail and thing like that. And so, yeah, I'm gonna get it in, no doubt about it.
What happened here? We just got a
Yeah,
little.
somebody got a light.
Yeah.
Man, we actually look pretty
They're gonna
decent
beam
right
us
now,
up
I
here or
think,
something.
too.
Yeah,
So,
tremendous. Yes, we're gonna get a win tonight, right, Drapes?
got to, man. I'm looking at these last 2 games, and while we were in the games, we had chances to win. You can't go 0-3. Like, we talked about the schedule, and I looked at the first 8 games. Now comes the softer part of the schedule. No offense to Portland, they had a great win last night, but now comes this part of the schedule where you can make up some ground. You can go 4-2, 5-2, have a 6-2 record after the first 8, and then we're feeling great.
And let's be honest, you need, to your point, you need to do that.
Yeah,
you kind of have to put up a 5-2, something like that.
Right. And here's the thing too, Whitey. Like, we know this in the Western Conference, really the games you're supposed to win, you got to take care of. It's because it's not many of them. It's not many teams where you could walk in and say, all right, we supposed to get this one. Portland is one of them. Maybe the team we'll see tomorrow night, Utah. But other than that, anybody can beat anybody. So these are games that, it's early in the season. I understand that. But game 3, this is a have to win kind of game.
One thing I'll say for the Kings, sitting right over there on, Thursday and then watching you and Katie on TV on Saturday night, when the Kings decide they're going to give up a lead, it happened. I mean, that 7-point lead was gone. Like, what?
Come on,
happened?
Man. Come
right?
on.
I mean, so fast.
Right.
I thought they gave that lead up quickly at the end of the third quarter against Minnesota. But when LeBron and the Lakers went on that run, it's like, wow.
Yeah. A 21-0 run.
Yeah.
And to start that fourth quarter, just unbelievable, And I just, LeBron, hopped in the hot tub time machine. He was hitting threes. But, what was upsetting him?
He was hitting threes from El Segundo.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I might use that next time. The thing about it, though, too, Whitey, is, all right, it's one thing to give up 44 points or give up 21 quick points. But where was the offense? Where was the response offense? Like, it seemed like the defense and the offense both broke down.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got
to find my phone, big fella.
Wow.
Hold on now. Did I leave it somewhere? I'm gonna have to go.
RJ just brought you your credentials.
Yeah, but I didn't need that. I need my phone.
Oh,
I have to find it. It's in here.
It'll turn.
It was in.
There you go.
Wow. All right, I got the phone. We back in business.
There we go.
We back in business.
There we go.
I'm not gonna tell you where it was at, though. I'm not gonna tell you. Dude, it's been one of those days. Can I tell you about my day so far?
All right, but I had a dead battery today, so can you top that?
Nah, I can't top that.
I bet you can't, because the dead battery was in the driveway. We didn't, you can get stuck.
Yeah, how'd you
just like AAA? Hey, then they come out, boom, get a new battery.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah. That's easy. It's just been a day, man. Got up, got the kids off to school. I will say I started off with I did a karaoke song this morning at about.
We have to hear it, right?
Am I
RJ, we have to hear it.
The kids were dragging. Yeah, you guys have had kids. You understand. They don't want to get up. It's dark outside. So I turn on a little Bill Withers, Lovely Day, and I start blasting that, and I'm moving around, lovely day, and all of a sudden they started singing too, Whitey.
Oh,
and so
that's
worked.
Great. You said it was a tough day. It sounds like a great day.
But that was the highlight of it. Then I had meetings and phone calls. I had to pack, big fella, going on the road for a week, and so I just been losing my mind today. It's RJ. Sorry about that, big fella.
You had a bad day. I had to walk all over this arena looking for your phone.
Looking for my phone that was sitting right here on the table. Oh, my God. Sorry about that, dude. So,
that's all right.
I'm good now. I'm good now.
We're reunited here at the Golden One Center. Of course, we got Jay back in the studio. Jay, what did you think of the 49ers last night? Feel good or relieved or disappointed? What's your feeling today?
Just, head above water heading into the bye week.
Yeah.
4-4, 3-5 would have looked even 10 times terrible. 4-4 looks better. And at the same time, you're absolutely tied with the NFC West, which is putrid at the moment. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Seattle. Thank you, LA. Thank you, Arizona. Even though a couple of those teams got some wins this week. And then the other part about it is go time. I think we're getting to the point now within the season where there are going to be a few games that's must win, albeit I say the first 2 coming out the bye week. I think you need to beat Tampa. I also think you need to smack Seattle one more time. And then you run against Buffalo, who's a better team. But I think that's when you start to gauge where you're at, and at the same time, you need guys coming back now. If you don't have guys starting to come back, then I think we start to the boat starts to rock a little more. So I think they've put their head above water, and they've waited to this point to get CMC back. We'll see what Greenlaw maybe the next 3 or 4 weeks. Juwan Jennings coming back. I'm with you guys though. They do need to make a move or two to kind of solidify what's going on moving forward.
Yeah, if they want this to be one of those really special seasons, you need people coming back, and you're going to probably have to add some people as well. Tell you what, that loss to Arizona now looks like more than just wow, that was one they should have had. Arizona's in first place, Drake.
Yeah. How about
Come
that?
on.
They won 2 in a row, and, they're turning into a decent team. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the NFC West, and Jay talks about it being putrid, and I agree with you. It's the worst division in football, but it's a dogfight right now.
It is.
Like, it's extremely close.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, teams are separated by what, half a game? 3, 4, and 4 teams, and then the Rams at 3 and 4. And so it's a dogfight, man. And I think we could all agree there's probably only one team that comes out of it that makes the playoffs, the division winner. And so it's important that you capture this division because ain't nobody else getting in.
Yeah, the NFC West is almost as tightly compacted as the NBA Western Conference tends to be. We got a big one in the West tonight. Kings and the Trailblazers coming to you from the Golden One Center. Drapes has Drapes Takes when we come right back on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento State football this Saturday at 6 versus Portland State. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Kyle Draper's favorite karaoke scene. I got to pull up the lyrics here. This is how you got your kids out of bed today, huh?
When I look at you, I pointed to my daughter and he said, when I look at you, the world's all right with me. Yes. When I look at you, and I know it's going to be, what's it going to be, Whitey?
I don't know the word.
A lovely, lovely day. This is how it was. Lovely day. Oh, man, that's bringing back memories of about 7 hours ago, man. That was good times, man.
That's when your day was full of hope and promise.
Yeah.
Now it's ruined. From what you say, I have no idea.
I'm here with you in Argentina.
There you go. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
was a great start to the day, though, man. That was tremendous. I had a blast this morning with the kids, man. It was great.
Mm-hmm. We got to have a karaoke day either on the show or out somewhere.
Would you do? Oh yeah, I forgot. You're a musician.
Yeah.
Would you sing in public though? Like
yes.
I know I've seen your videos and
yes.
stuff like that.
I've performed in front of 14,000 people.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your go-to karaoke song? Like go-to song?
I don't actually have one. I'd have to figure that out.
Really?
I haven't actually done a lot of karaoke. I'll figure it out though. I mean, I got some options, but to be honest with you, I don't really have one. How about you?
Well, it would be Taylor Swift something. Like I would, Better Than Revenge is like my thing right now. But I did at the Yakima County Fair way back in the day. I got up on stage in front of a couple thousand and did karaoke. It was I
wouldn't think that would phase you at all.
Rick James Super Freak.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not good. It was not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Nah, it didn't fit my tone. Like
yeah.
I just couldn't get.
That's not in your optimal
It's not
pitch.
in my. Exactly. Taylor Swift now. But yeah, I did. Yeah, so you know what I've been looking for, and maybe Jay or you or somebody out there can help me out. I need like a hip hop karaoke bar, because sometimes when Jay played, Drake or whoever it may be, I want to rap along. Like. Is rap music? Can you do karaoke to that?
That's a good question.
Like,
I would guess
would it
it's
hit
not
the same?
I'm guessing it's not nearly as popular, but is it? Okay.
I mean, I do it in my house, Jay, like some Public Enemy or some Run DMC or something like that. But how about the new slaps? Can we go out to a bar and actually?
Yeah, why not?
Sure, if we can, we will hear about it.
No, because here's the problem, Jay. No, if I'm keeping it real, the problem is when you go to these karaoke bars, their hip hop selection is kind of suspect.
Agreed.
They got like Tone Loc,
50 Cent. Yeah, it's like right.
Yeah, it's like I need some real stuff.
Shorty,
you know what I mean?
It's your birthday,
right? Right.
We're
the
gonna
folk
party
version
like
of it,
your
right?
birthday.
It just ain't the same.
It's
Man.
crossover. It's crossover
selection
rap,
out there.
crossover hip hop. We got it.
Yeah, like Nelly or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not trying to do Nelly.
Get
I'm trying
not
to do real
near.
stuff. Here, right?
Hey, it must be the buddy.
Right? Oh man. Oh, we got to do that, man.
It's mainstream, basically, what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you ready for Drape's Takes?
Always ready.
Here it is.
What's up, ready?
From the Golden One Center, Drape's Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
First thing comes first here. Kings fans, we got to take it easy. I know the team's 0-2. I know we gave up leads in both games. We gave up runs in both games. But I was actually encouraged by what I saw from the Sacramento Kings Saturday night in Los Angeles. First and foremost, I talked to Mike Brown, asked him the question afterwards. People probably thought I was crazy. Did you see encouraging signs from the defense? And Whitey, despite giving up 44 in the fourth quarter, despite LeBron James going nuclear on us, I actually like some of the things I saw defensively. Looking at the steals numbers right here. 12 steals. How about the deflections they had?
Drapes in his box score.
Exactly. No, right. Let me close the box score. Just for accuracy, I'm using the box score. But I thought they competed hard on the defense. Sure, there were some breakdowns. Sure, LeBron and AD hit some threes, but it wasn't for a lack of effort. Like, I thought they played with a swagger. I thought they played with an edge. I thought Domantas Sabonis, his several dunks that he had. I thought DeMar DeRozan was great. I'll talk about him coming up in just a second. But I actually liked what I saw from the team defensively in terms of not getting punked, not getting pushed over, fighting back. I thought the Kings, despite losing the game, the effort was there the other night, Whitey.
Yeah, I thought the problem was it's not so much effort. It's Todd Anthony Shaw is the problem. You know who Todd Anthony Shaw is, don't you? Too short.
Too short. We were too short.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I'm with you on that. And that's 2 games straight that we've been exposed. And we've talked about it on this show time and time again. Maybe O-Rob is our answer, Orlando Robinson, or maybe we need to go out there and bring somebody in. But you're right. I'll throw this into the Drapes takes. When we go small, Trey Lyles at the 5, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough for us. And you know what the Lakers did, Whitey, to counter? us going small, they went big. They had Jackson Hayes and Anthony Davis on the floor in the second half late in that game. They went big, and, the rebounding, how many offensive rebounds did we give up? Can I
13.
check the box score for that? Okay,
I
you
can
got it
tell
right.
you. Yeah.
13 offensive rebounds.
And they shot a high percentage. 13 rebounds as well as they shot the ball.
Yeah.
Is a lot of offensive rebounds.
52% the Lakers shot.
So there weren't that many rebounds to be had,
Yeah.
and they got a big number of them.
So I thought our perimeter defense was pretty solid. It's just rebounding, protecting the paint, blocking shots, getting big inside the paint. We couldn't do anything about it. All we had was Domas. So that was a concern, no doubt about it. Can I talk about DeMar DeRozan for a minute? We saw a glimpse of who DeMar DeRozan is. We saw a glimpse of who he can be in Sacramento. For the first 3 quarters, DeMar was just doing his average game, just going through it. Then in the fourth, he really turned it up. I liked what I saw fourth quarter DeMar, and this is something I asked Mike Brown about after the game. How do you balance, DeMar, turning into Superman and putting on his cape, but also still running the offense? I'm okay with DeMar at times saying, you know what, get out the way, fellas. It's my turn. I'm going to take over. I'd actually like to see it a little earlier, to be honest with you. I don't want DeMar to just be in the flow of the offense and just 3 of 6 through 3 quarters or whatever it may
12
be.
shots for the whole game.
Yeah, for the whole game. I need him to be 18, 19 shots. He's still an elite scorer in this league. And I thought, he had a couple of threes and then a deep 2 as well as we were coming back and trying to get back in the game. I thought we saw a glimpse of what DeMar DeRozan can be.
This is interesting to me, and I think it kind of dovetails with what you're saying. Chris Watkins today, he posted, or sometime this weekend, he posted the numbers from the last 5 minutes of the game. And DeMar and the Kings, the last 5 minutes, they did really well. They outscored the Lakers by 8.
Exactly. We won the last 5. It was the first 5 minutes that we got gashed the other day, which brings me to the first 5 minutes. We got to lay off Kevin Huerter. I'm watching that morning show today. I don't even want to give them their names, but they're talking about either Keon needs to start or Malik Monk. Kevin Huerter was not the issue.
You're right.
Like when the Lakers made that run, Kevin Huerter, I don't think was even on the floor really. And when he was on the floor, he didn't get to touch the ball.
I think his man scored 1 basket.
Right, exactly. But, people run to the box score. Why do you say, look at the plus minus?
Yes.
You know what I mean? He was out there for that rough stretch, but it wasn't his fault. I thought Kevin Huerter played an excellent game, knocked down some shots, which we wanted to do. So to me, the answer isn't either you got to start Malik Monk or Keon Ellis. Kevin Huerter did fine. It was other areas where we came up short.
Can I address that real quick? Yeah, like you say, people look at the box score, and everyone's a genius because you see the plus minus. Oh, Kevin Huerter, minus 29. Did you know that in that game, Anthony Davis was minus 22? He had 31 points.
Oh, you're right about that.
Yeah, and look at Reeves.
Hey, Anthony
Reeves was
Davis,
minus
the
20.
reason they almost lost based on this.
Yes. Plus minus in one individual game is virtually meaningless.
Right.
But people cherry pick. And if a guy doesn't do well and his plus minus is bad, oh, look at that. See?
And that's what I'm
Come on.
about. You can't wake up the next day, look at the box score, and try to figure out what happened in the game. You got to watch it. And when watching it, I thought Kevin Huerter was fine. I thought he was A-OK. Final Drape's take. And I don't have the answer here, Kings fans. Everybody's like, Drapes, you should have asked Mike Brown about this. Where the heck was Keon Ellis? Like, I know we're going to talk about that, Whitey, but I understand Mike's looking for the rotation, trying to figure things out. But I was flabbergasted. I was shocked that Keon didn't see a single minute. And maybe somebody will ask Mike pregame, in the postgame press conference. I'll be honest, that's not my job to do that. Jason Anderson's there. He can ask that question. I'm not there to grill Mike on rotations and things like that. But I was surprised that Keon Ellis didn't get a single second.
I think it's just that crunch in the back court. I don't understand it either, but they went with why would Jordan why would Jordan McLaughlin, play instead of Keon? Well, he can handle.
Yeah.
Keon doesn't have the handle. Other than that, it's just there weren't enough minutes to go around. That's not a good excuse or reason, but has to have something to do with it.
Yeah, and let me ask you this, Whitey, too, because really Mike is using a 7-man rotation, maybe 7. McLaughlin played, but only 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's kind of negligible.
Yes.
Alex Lynn,
True.
9 minutes, okay. But I'm looking at guard depth was supposed to be our strength. Mike has said it. he doesn't want De'Aaron Fox playing 41 minutes. And so maybe you buy Fox some rest earlier, and then, make him like, and so I think 2 years ago, even we saw Mike Brown. It took till December to figure out a rotation. I hope it doesn't take that long, but I was shocked. Like I said, Keon didn't get any minutes. I thought the backcourt depth was the strength of our team. And right now, Mike's just leaning on a couple of guys.
My opinion right now, he hasn't said this, but from what he has said and the way he's subbing, I don't think he has any faith in his bench other than Malik right now. Virtually none.
I'm looking at the roster, Whitey, and I hear you on that. But how do you get faith, though? It's not in practice, right? You got to get – you may not have faith, and you could be 100% right. I don't know. But you're going to need the bench. Like, we can't go through what
Trey
we
Lyles
did
has to play better.
Yeah, Trey definitely has to play
better.
He has
got
to
a problem.
He has to play better, has to do a better job defensively on the boards, knock down some shots as well. But how come Jordan McLaughlin only played 3 minutes and no Keon Ellis? Like, that's where I think we have an advantage with against a lot of teams is our backcourt depth. And so I fully expect Keon to play tonight. And maybe somebody will ask Mike about it pregame. I'm interested in hearing his explanation for that.
Yeah.
So that's Drape's Takes, Jay. It is brought to you by
Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
Yeah, it was a big topic today. Thank you, Drapes.
Yeah.
Who starts at 2 remains a topic. And as Drapes said, we got to lay off Kevin Herter right now. We're back with that from the Gold One Center. Drive, guys, more than the Niners 2 coming up, Sacktown Sports.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Ready to pregame your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years where aloha is served daily. They're just steps away from the arena, so whether it's game day or concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. And if you're planning a bigger get-together, Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options too to bring those fresh, delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper, Drapes for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now is the time to buy or lease a Mercedes-Benz van for sale. They have Sprinter vans. You could turn it into a worker cargo van, a worker passenger van, or just a plain old passenger van. They are fully customizable. And one of the things I love about their Sprinter vans, because trust me, I had a chance to check them out myself. I hopped in the Sprinter van, and you guys know I'm a big guy, right? Well, I was able to stand up head to toe and fit perfectly. So if you're interested in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van for your business or just your personal needs, now is the time to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They can help you find the configuration that best suits your needs. Plus, you can take advantage of the huge tax breaks before year's end. Take the short drive down I-5 or go online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them your boy Drape sent you.
Sacramento State football is back at home this Saturday. Join us for Salute to Heroes Night and check out some high-flying action between your Sacramento State Hornets and the Portland State Vikings. And after the game, stick around for the post-game fireworks show. It's this Saturday, November 2nd at Hornet Stadium. 6 o'clock game time between Sacramento State and Portland State. Tickets on sale now at hornetsports.com. We'll see you there, and Stingers up.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Is it bad that I never made love? No, I never did.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, the lighting is sensational today. We have Ryan Williams Art says the dark background mixed with the bright overhead light looks like Drapes and Whitey are doing a police interrogation. So Campio says Draper and Gleason, Draper's Capers, Fridays at 9 on CBS this fall.
Should have our own TV show too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, you kind of do.
Yeah,
you know.
I tell you what, the Draper reality show, Draper's Capers, or Behind the Curtains, or whatever we called it, is still in the works. Kids are still all on board with it, just so you know.
What a great scene that would have been in the show with you.
That's
singing.
what I told them. I'm like, that's content right there, kids. You know, and so it's getting closer, man. I'm almost close to doing it.
I hope you don't mind me saying this, but somebody on Twitter, on the chat, is asking about something that Katie said to Drapes, and it became a thing today on the station. And it's I heard it. She didn't say that, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
Drapes has been catching some flack today for something that literally did not happen. So he didn't want to talk about it, and I apologize, but I just want to point that out from where I saw that when it happened, and I was like, wait, people are saying what happened? No, I saw it.
Yeah,
that did not happen.
I
So
appreciate you saying that, Whitey. And I thought I was getting trolled by Laker fans because they are upset. They're in their feelings because me and Katie, clowned on them for releasing the streamers and the confetti after a win in Game 3 of the season. And they're pointing out, well, we do that all the time. We do that after every win. Well, the problem is every time me and Katie go to LA, we whoop up on their butts, So I haven't seen the Lakers win over the Kings in some time. So I didn't know that. And so I thought, what you were talking about was, Laker fans
coming after you.
Instead, it's just some local people trolling me, really.
For something that did not happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man. So I'm on to Portland, though. I've moved on.
On to the Blazers.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the Blazers had a pretty impressive outing last night.
How about that? And you know what, Whitey? Here's the thing. I looked at this Portland team, and I understand they're not expected to do much. I understand they're predicted to finish dead last in the Western Conference. But they actually got some talent.
They really do.
They actually have some talent players, starting with Anthony Simons. This is a guy that could go off at 30 or 40 on any given night. And so if you're Sacramento, you cannot overlook this Portland Trailblazers team coming off a big win yesterday. You got to give them some credit, man. They're looking better than predicted.
They lost their first 2 games. The first game against the Warriors, they were terrible. Then they lost to they lost to the Pelicans by 2. And in that game, Jeremy Grant had 34 points, made 8 threes.
Yes, exactly. And Jeremy Grant had 28 yesterday. DeAndre Ayton. Remember last time they played here, him and Sabonis were going back and forth last year. And Deni Avdija is a stealth kind of player. So I actually like some of the talent. Let's see if they can put it together on back-to-back nights, though.
Now, as far as this 2-guard situation, that may be, as long as the Kings are not playing well. Let me put it this way. I think throughout this year, any period during which the Kings may not be playing well, for a lot of fans, that's going to be an issue. Why isn't Malik starting?
Yeah.
Why isn't Keon Ellis starting? And I really don't think that's something you can talk about. I just don't think that has much to do with what's not going well for the Kings right now.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, the 2-guard spot isn't the issue because they're actually getting off to decent starts, if I'm correct. Against the Lakers, they were fine. Sure, the Lakers, built a little lead, but then the Kings battled back in that game. And I think, 4 points at the half, something like that. Then the Kings took the lead in the third quarter, Kevin Huerter was fine. Now, the question is, and this is something we've talked about before at this 2-guard spot, if you don't start Keon Ellis, and let's say you put Kevin Huerter, you could run some Huerter at the 3 and get him some minutes there as a backup to DeMar DeRozan. The problem is with Keon, he's now stuck behind Malik Monk in terms of, and I don't know if you're playing Keon and Malik or not, but I just feel like it might even been a mistake. I would love to hear Mike Brown today talk about Keon Ellis. It might, in hindsight, maybe Keon, he will say maybe Keon should have got some minutes. But I don't think the 2-guard spot is, I'm not concerned right now, Whitey. I thought, Malik is doing his thing. Kevin Huerter played well the other night. We just got to find some minutes for Keon, too, in the mix.
I love Keon, and it's, as you said earlier, it's a mystery as to why he didn't play, but I don't think that's the reason they lost. Like, oh, well, if he'd have played during that Laker run, the Kings would have won.
Who was
Maybe that's
guarding?
the case.
Who was he guarding? LeBron?
He would have shut down LeBron.
Right. Come on now. We know better than that.
Yeah, that's not how I see it. But let me ask you this, because Mike Brown, a lot of people were critical of his coaching. And, again, anytime the team loses, I think we're going to come back to that. And that's pretty typical of any team. Mike Brown, after the game, talked about a couple of things that fans were critical of him for. One was the timeouts. And he said, and you were in there, so I don't need to tell you. Yep. He said, I really felt we needed to save those timeouts for later in the game. And he said, it was good we had them. He said, maybe I should have called the timeout sooner. I don't know. But he to me, he was saying, I'm fine with what I did as far as the timeouts. Then the other thing was, the only thing where he said, this is how he started his chat, if I'm not mistaken. He said, look, it was a 1-possession game, and we hit them, like we doubled them, and they got an easy basket, and that made it a 2-possession game. And he said, I told the team that was on me. But as far as anything else, that was the only thing Mike Brown said, that was on me. And then even the timeouts. I know people, why didn't you call a timeout? What did you think of the criticism over his coaching?
I mean, it's always hindsight, right? It's Monday morning quarterbacking. That's what it is. It's the day after, and here's the thing about it too, Whitey. As a coach, you try things, you try what you think is going to work, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And I thought in that instance, it just didn't work for Mike Brown. If he had over to do it again, maybe he makes different decisions. But we got to recognize too, people. The Lakers have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, arguably 2 of the top 10 players in the league. And both those guys went superhuman on us. And so sometimes that, like LeBron knocking down 3, AD knocking down 3.
Yeah, big.
There was one, and Sabonis was like, like the way Sabonis reacted, it was like he was shocked AD hit it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I didn't come out of that game last night thinking, oh man, we struggled against. We can't play with these guys. They're just better than us. They just got us on that night. Personally, I want more from the bench. We've talked about that as well, but it's not like the Lakers bench did anything. I mean, really, where this game was lost for the Kings, when you look at it, I mean, we were right. We scored 127 and didn't win the game. So I look at the defense.
That's it.
And so
that's it.
Chris DeMond made a point here on the text line right here. It says, it's UPS Chris. I agree that Kevin had a good game. You can't give up 131 though and play Keon 0 minutes. Got to get Keon in there at some point. I just think to the point Whitey made, we might be a little too small. Even in our perimeter defense is like. One of the things we've hyped up Boston about over the years is they have length and size. Tatum is a long player. Jaylen Brown is long. Derek White, his wingspan is long. Like, we got to improve in terms of shrinking the floor with our length. Outside of Sabonis, we're not a tall team. Glenn, but other than that, we're a small team.
I think right now it's painfully obvious that it's a problem. And let's be honest, it could be an issue again tonight against Portland.
Yeah, this is a big team. This is a long team. This is a team that can score as well. And, when I look at Portland, we just talked about it. They got guys like Jeremy Grant's. Who's guarding him? I guess Keegan. We'll check him. You think
It's
probably?
another puzzler, huh?
Yeah,
matching
yeah.
up with this team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think Portland's feeling good about themselves, and so. But I'm encouraged. Like I said, it's 2 games in, and we could have won both games.
Who's guarding Simons in? That's where it gets tricky,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's
Maybe
what I'm saying.
this is
Yeah.
a Keon Ellis kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, that's why we sitting here. And Mike Brown is making those decisions.
Yeah, Mike Brown said the Kings did some really good things offensively. So we'll look at those when we come back as the Kings gun for their first win of the early season from the Golden One Center. That's where we are. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on. Hurry in for $2,000 cash back on any 2024 Tundra, or choose a great lease on a new 2024 Tacoma 4x4. Get to your Toyota dealer today, because this truck event will be Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available to TFS providers with premium rated credit until 11/4/24.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The future of cool, comfortable sleep is here. Introducing the new Sleep Number Climate Cool Smart Bed. The only smart bed in the world that actively cools and effortlessly adjusts to both of you. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. It actively cools to keep you cool and comfortable throughout the night. Save on smart beds now during our fall sale, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply, limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmitt Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable. And one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards RealFit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
We were just trying to get stops. LeBron was kind of LeBron. He went off. He did his thing, and we were careless with the ball on the other side instead of scoring or taking good shots. We had a couple turnovers there. That kind of helped them make that run.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Drive Guys coming to you from the Golden One Center, where tonight the Kings will take it to the Portland Trailblazers, and we shall light the beam.
Oh, is that a prediction?
We shall light the beam.
Yeah, we got to, man. It's one of those, not a must win, but you got to have this one tonight. You got to win this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't go 0-2 at home
Nah.
with the loss.
Come on.
Yeah.
And you know what? You take a look at the West, and there's a lot of teams that are gathering a little early momentum. And I know it's very early, but you got to start winning games at some point.
Right. Exactly. Like, I'm looking at a Clippers team. They look to be a little bit better than expected. Nice win last night over Golden State. And so, no,
Steph Curry with a turned ankle.
Hey, we got to take advantage of it, don't give away games. Warriors might lose 2 or 3 or 4 in a row. We got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Kings got a lot of work to do, but one thing that they did very well against the Lakers, we'll get to that in just a moment. First, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. David joins us on Sacktown Sports. Hello, David.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Uh-huh.
I was just real quick. No, I don't have any hot takes or nothing like that, but a shout out to Draper for dapping me up on opening night. It was my first opening night for the Kings, and he was just coming out of the booth. Okay. I turned around, he was right there, so I yelled at him, and sure enough, he turned around and dapped me up and made the rest of my night. So I appreciate that, brother. Have a good one.
Oh, snap. Thank you, bro.
That's
Okay.
That's nice.
Check is in the mail. Yeah.
The Mercedes man.
My guy. Thank you so
the
much.
Mercedes
man.
man.
You know what, though? I love being at this arena, though, Whitey. And you're here.
Best arena in the NBA.
Best arena. The fans are great. So much love out here. And so, the fans and the energy in the building makes my day. You know what I mean? Like this is my safe spot. This is the place I feel comfortable. So shout out to my guy right there. That thank you for that.
Yeah, that's what Jay and I were talking about last week too. It's not just the energy in here, which is tremendous, but seriously, the whole Doco, you go walking down that way.
Yeah.
It's just a nice place to be. The vibes are really strong.
Yeah,
positive.
Exactly.
Especially
very
as it gets closer to game time.
Exactly. And shout out Beach Hut Deli. We were out there. And RJ was asking me, how was the crowd? And as you got closer to game time, the little patio they got outside there started filling up. And yeah, it was
annoyingly loud, frankly. It's like, hey, we're doing a show.
Know, right? And there's the one dude that just came over and there were several guys that just came over and started talking to us. But
that was the guy that thought I was Marcus Allen.
Right, Marcus. Can I tell you a Marcus Allen story real quick? I was talking to Phil Oates. He's one of the owners of the Kings. Good dude. And this is when I first started here. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to have Marcus Allen come to this event. It's going to be awesome. And at the time, I thought he was talking about Marcus Allen.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can't wait to see it. And no offense to Mark S. Allen.
Right.
But
who's a legend in his own right.
In his own right. But I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh, my bad. And I'm sure I'm not there. That happens all the time, I'm sure, with Marcus Allen. So, yeah.
One thing I thought the Kings did well, and they have to do a lot more things well, obviously, at 0-2, but they got back to pushing the pace and playing the style of basketball we're used to seeing them play offensively, because they had, not to get bogged down in the numbers again, Drake, but I think in the first game they had about 21 assists, which is like, that's a little low. That's not terrible, but that's low. They had 32 assists on 45 makes, and then Domas, who had 1 assist in the first game, had 10 against the Lakers. So it was like, okay, offensively, that's Kings basketball again.
And I'm going to give you another stat here, Whitey. In game 1, we shot 29 threes. In game 2, we had 24 in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was more like Kings basketball. What you're talking about, the fast break points, we did exceptionally well there, getting up the threes, playing with pace and everything. And so that to me is offensively the blueprint that we need to see going forward with the team.
Especially against, again, a team that played last night, which is the second game in a row. The Kings are playing a team that is coming off of game the night before. So those are the teams that are really, in theory anyway, vulnerable to you pushing the pace. But here's what Mike Brown said after the game. Again, I know you were in there.
Yep.
He said, if we keep playing like that offensively, good things will happen. We talked about playing fast. We did a great job of playing fast. But it's just interesting to me that he says, if we keep playing like that offensively, and clearly he's on some level implying it's the other end right now that's the issue for us. Because that's always been, or at least as long as he's been here, that's been what he's trying to emphasize is better defense.
Yeah. And, I look at the defensive numbers and they aren't pretty. We understand that. Lakers scored 64 points in the first half, shot close to 48%. But I thought the Kings were very active defensively. They got their hands on the ball. Then I look at the second half numbers, and that's where the rope really was let go by the Kings. The Lakers in the second half, 57% shooting, knocked down 7 threes. I will say this, though, one last point on the offense. How about the free throw shooting too?
Yes.
Are we a good free throw shooting team now?
Yes.
88%, I think it was.
Was it 80% in the first
game?
night?
80% in the first game. And so maybe we check the box there. And I wonder, though, man, we talk about the defense. I don't know, man. Keon Ellis got to see some minutes because, it's a small sample size last season. We understand that, when Keon started towards the end of the season. But he made a difference out there. And so he has to be, in my opinion, the second guard off the bench. You got Malik as your sixth man. Keon got to get some burn. We got to see. I don't know if he's in a funk right now. Is Mike seeing something in practice right now or what? But, this guy was a critical member of our team last year, and he's still a young player. Like, you got to give him some time to develop. And so, I expect him to play tonight.
I just think it's obvious when you look at the roster that they're a little thin up front.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they know that, and I'm sure they're doing everything that can be done to address that. But when you got right now, you got DeMar, you got Keegan, you got Trey Lyles. You don't really have another wing, right? And in the NBA today, Dre, the wings is the thing. You don't have a lot of them. And especially again, and you're talking about your 4 and 5, your bigs. Trey Lyles and Alex Len. Alex Len's a center. Trey Lyles is like your backup 4 right now, right? 4 and 5. And you could use – he's got to play better. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
You could use more depth there, but he has to shoot the ball better. If he shoots the ball better, he causes problems for the other team. If he's not playing well, then you have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that, man. And I think, we expected, more from Trey. But Can we give him some grace though? Whitey?
Of course,
because he didn't play in the preseason.
I understand that.
He had a groin injury, so probably wasn't even in tip-top basketball shape when he came back. And so it's just 2 games. But the roster construction of this team, to your point, he has to be a factor. Like, we're counting on Trey Lyles.
Yes,
he can't be 1 for 6. Play 17, 18 minutes. Like, Trey Lyles should be a 20-minute kind of guy, especially if you're going to run him as some small ball 5. Like, this guy has to produce. And so I think he will. We'll see tonight. But no, you're right. He's a big part of what we do, I think.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments from Saturday was Alex Len, the 3-ball from the corner.
Yeah. How about that?
He knows what he's doing. He let that fly with confidence.
Right.
Go in, but
I
think we're going to see that more this year.
And I think Alex, it's something he works on, obviously, but he feels comfortable shooting it. You're right. It didn't go in. But how about the offense having Alex Len in the corner? There was another play. Domas took a corner 3 also, hit it and turned around and talked trash to the Lakers bench. Like, usually you don't see that.
Right.
Like, from our bigs,
right.
And taking corner 3s. Maybe it's a new wrinkle in the offense. Let me ask you this, though. Are the Lakers better than maybe we thought? Are they a better team than we thought maybe going in, or is it still too early?
They're really good early in the year, but the question with them is going to be, as everyone knows, health. If Anthony Davis and LeBron can hold up over the whole year.
Yeah, right. I'm looking at their wins: Minnesota, Phoenix, and Sac. Those are 3 really good wins to start the season.
Hey, they might win the in-season tournament.
Yeah, right.
No one's ever won it 2 years
back
in a row.
to back, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Now they got a 6-game road trip. We'll see what happens. Were you disappointed we didn't see Bronny? You forgot all about him, did you?
I really was.
I did.
I really wasn't.
I tell you, I forgot about him during the game. Like going into the game, you're making your notes. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
But there was no need to talk about him.
Yeah.
Like,
And I wanted to see him was in the middle of that 21-0 run. Put in Bronny.
Put in Ronnie.
Please.
Give us a chance to get back in this, right? Exactly. And so, nah, man. I'll tell you what, though, watching Bronny warm up, fans, media members, like, people are still, like, into this guy. You know, even though he's a DMP CD kind of player, there's a buzz when he's out there on the floor from media and fans watching him warm up.
I got to ask you about this. We had Jerry Reynolds on,
okay.
And he, talking about what we're talking about, how they're not real deep in the front court. He had an interesting idea. It's something that we've talked about before, and I don't think you're a big fan of it. Want to see what you think when we come right back. Kings and Blazers tonight's Drive Guys coming to you from Golden One Center, Sacktown Sports.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Mita Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on every new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock after rebates. All of them. Silverado savings on now at MitaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See delivery details. Ends 10/31/24.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs.
Picking up, Oscar! Have you heard you can listen to your favorite news podcast ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Enjoy shows like The Daily, Up First, and Consider This, available ad-free on Amazon Music. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free. That's amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on. Hurry in for $2,000 cash back on any 2024 Tundra, or choose a great lease on a new 2024 Tacoma 4x4. Get to your Toyota dealer today, because this truck event will be Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available to TFS buyers with premium rated credit until 11/4/24.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Kings need to do tonight what the 49ers did last night, right, Drapes? Get that W.
Got to get a win.
Somewhat convincing win for the 49ers last night. It looked like it was going to be more convincing than it was.
Yeah.
But at this point, you get to the bye at 4-4. Phew, sigh of relief.
Big time win. They needed that. 4-4 is a lot different than 3-5, Whitey.
Yeah.
3-5 is pretty bad.
Yeah.
You're talking Jets territory and stuff like that. You don't want to be them.
Why'd you have to go there? The Jets were my lock this week.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Jay, we should deduct like 10 points from Whitey for that.
No. Let's see. Everybody picked the Jets except for our guest picker last week, Emran. Yeah.
Oh, Emran was the guest speaker? Oh,
yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't text us, or maybe he texted you guys bragging about it.
I have the unofficial numbers, and of course we'll have to pick at some point the game tonight. So I don't have the official tally. what I have here is Jay is one ahead of me. And the reason he is, and again, Jay's numbers may vary. Maybe he's further ahead than me. But the reason he's one ahead of me is because of you-know-what play.
That Hail Mary, huh?
Yeah.
Did you pick the Bears?
I did.
Oh, shoot. Oh.
You and Jay both picked Washington. I didn't think
what was the
Daniels
line
was going to play. Chicago 3. Chicago was given 3. Yeah. And so it was 18-15 at that point. It's like, push.
You got it. Yeah. Push. And then the Hail Mary. Perfectly executed, too. Like the one guy staying back, behind
and
everything.
The opposite of perfectly executed by the Bears defensively.
Yeah, who was that guy that was, I forget his name, that was taunting the crowd, the plays going on?
Tyreek Stevenson.
Unbelievable.
He has apologized to
They didn't
Bears
deserve
fans.
to win. That's what he gets. Like,
I think he actually did tip the ball.
Yeah, they
but
say
still,
he was the guy that.
Funniest thing where Bears fans are going, hey, hey, hey. And he's actually looking at the what? Oh, the ball's in play. Here they come.
That's awesome. Seeing the receivers run down the field and his back is to them. And he's like pointing to the crowd. That was awesome, man.
I know I'm not the first to say this, but just think, film session, what that's going to be like for him, right? The team, when they go over that.
That might be a cuttable offense. Like, fire this guy, right? I'm not saying do it, but that's egregious. While the play is going on, I can understand it's a Hail Mary and everything, but gosh, you got to be locked in.
Yeah, I also have to give Jay credit because everybody except Jay took the Chiefs and gave the 9. And Jay pointed out, he said, the Raiders aren't great, but they always give the Chiefs a little trouble. And with a 7-point spread there, Jay gets that one.
So Jay,
well done, Jay.
He's Jay got the actual tally.
Man, just call me plus or minus over here.
Hey, when we get to our picks, I need to know. Like, I might do a lock or an upset special or something to try to get back in this thing.
You might need it.
Was I pretty bad this week?
Not bad. Just according to my unofficial numbers, you want to do something.
All right, I want to do something. All right.
Yeah.
Out of the ordinary.
But
something.
Jay will tell you when we get to that. As for the 49ers last night, I still think one of the big things about last night was seeing Brock Purdy play better in the second half. Because, again, in the first half, it was Brock, I look like I'm throwing a shoe.
Yeah.
Nobody's sure where it's going, Purdy. And then he turned it around at halftime.
No, he looked good in the second half. That offense looked good in the second half. I thought George Kittle was phenomenal. Like, you're talking a future Hall of Famer. I thought Isaac Guerrero had some plays. Yeah, he looked good out there as well. And Purdy did what he needed to do. I'm not saying he was sharp or anything like that or looked like he did last year when he was in the MVP race, but he moved the offense. They got touchdowns too, Whitey, in the second half, which is huge. And so tale of two halves all the way around, I thought, yesterday.
So 4-4, trade deadline coming up a week from tomorrow. Then you got the bye week, and then I know Ian Rappaport's latest report suggests the 49ers expect McCaffrey to be back. That doesn't mean he will be, but no setbacks, and he's on schedule to return. Greenlaw's supposed to return. I think if the 49ers are able to make a trade of some kind that upgrades either the defensive line or the wideouts, I think they're in really good shape to make potentially another run. And your team is looking really good.
How about the Eagles,
your
baby?
Team looks really
looking really, really, really good. Nice win over Cincinnati. A little closer than comfort in the first half, but then we righted the ship in the second half. Saquon looked great. Jalen Hurts did his thing, only 4 incompletions. And so 5-2, baby.
That was my upset special because they were actually underdogs.
They were underdogs?
Yeah. They were getting 2.5.
And you had that as an upset?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's easy money.
You knew the Eagles were legit.
That was easy money right there.
They're a legit team. Yeah, that was an impressive win. And I'm starting to buy my team now. Like, whatever happened earlier this season last year seems to be behind them.
Yeah,
like they're playing decent. I mean, the defense was even good this past week. And so I'm starting to buy my Eagles right now.
I can't wait to see the Eagles and Washington.
That's going to be a shootout, I think. I mean, Washington's legit. We've had several people on our air say, keep an eye on them this season. They might be the surprise team.
Yeah.
The fact that they, won again, and they're 6-2, and give the Bears some love too. because they're one play away from being 5-2, which is crazy, Whitey.
That was a terrible play.
It was a terrible
They
play.
played out horribly.
They were
scored
almost
18
5-2.
points.
5-2,
15
though.
points. 15 points.
5-2, Whitey. The Bears could have been. It's unbelievable. But what happened to Detroit, man? Like, they just ran all over the Titans.
Yeah, they
like
special
that.
teamed
Like
and ran the Titans into oblivion.
Like that's, the Titans need to fold up shop right now. Like 52 points, 52 and 3/4.
Yeah,
too. That's unbelievable.
50 burger without Goff doing much of anything.
Yeah.
So all right, which Drapes? Here is what Jerry Reynolds was talking about when he joined us last week. As we looked at the Kings, and this was the day after they lost to Minnesota. Even then, you could see that Minnesota's got some size. Kings looked like maybe they were a little height challenged. And Jerry said, maybe. This is a guy who's coach. He says, maybe at some point here, you need to revisit having Domas play the 4 and Alex Lynn at the 5. I don't know, but I know that's something that has been talked about for more than the last year here, and I know you've never been a big fan of it.
Still not a big fan of it. Still not. I mean, when you look at it, we played Minnesota. They got 2 bigs. Anthony Davis and LeBron James. We know how great they can be. Most teams, you don't have to do that. Like, most teams, you don't have to match up like that. We just got to be better. Like, tonight, I don't want Alex Lynn and Domas going against Tumani Kamara and Ayton. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Even a team like Boston will see tomorrow. Utah will see tomorrow. Like, we don't have to do that. I think I'm not going to overreact to 2 games against 2 of the better interior teams in the league in Minnesota and the Lakers. I mean, can we just chalk it up that, you know what? The Lakers were better at the last night. Like, the answer to me isn't those 2 guys together. The answer is probably bringing somebody in.
Yes. Yes.
How about this, Notion? Trey Lyles, somebody mentioned this. Should we do Trey Lyles at the 4? And that a more traditional
starting? Yeah. That's what the High Flyer said. He's at Trey Lyles at the 4 and
moved DeMar to the 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that, because then we're really thin off the bench coming up with bigs. Like, we only have 1 big, Alex Lynn. I think we're fine as is in terms of, you don't need to change the 4 or 5 rotation right now. Guys, A, got to be better, or B, you bring somebody in. Maybe O-Rob is an answer or something like that. But I'm still not a fan of that pairing, Alex Lynn and Domantas Sabonis. I just don't think they complement each other out there.
What if Domas continues to, I was 1 for 3 beyond the arc into Lakers. If he continues to make those threes and becomes a legitimate stretch, does that maybe make it a little more palatable?
I think so. If he becomes legitimate, because then teams got to respect it.
Yeah.
Right now, you make 1 a game. Teams are like, all right, he hit 1.
Good for you.
Right. Good for you. Good job.
Here's
good
a cupcake.
Right. Exactly. But if he becomes, think about it like this. Even when he played in Indiana, Whitey, he was not the stretch big. Miles Turner was the stretch big. So, and I've always said, if you're going to play somebody, another big with Domas, that person has to be the stretch big, and if Domas becomes a 3 to 5 3-point guy a night, then he becomes the stretch big and you could play somebody else with him. But I just don't see it happening. I think at certain matchups, maybe, like if we see Milwaukee with Giannis and Lopez or something like that, maybe we go big. We saw that a little bit last year. Maybe in Minnesota again, we go big, but not on a night out basis.
I think they're just a little bit small, and I think they have to know that, and I think they have to be looking at that, and it's unfortunate that the first 2 games of the season pit you against teams against whom that's even a bigger problem than normally it would be.
Yeah. It's even more glaring,
exactly,
if you will. Right. You're right about that. And so, I mean, they got a roster spot open, if I'm correct. And so, go out there and make a move. And I've said it before, John Collins is still out there. Like, he's, toiling away right now in Utah. Maybe that's the answer. You throw John Collins at the 4, move DeMar to the 2.
Then you're going to give up 150 a game.
You think so?
He's not great defensively.
Well, but I think defense is a product of the people around you at times too, and because you're not looking for nobody's gonna, he's not a lockdown four. There aren't many lockdown fours out there, but he provides you a little more size, a little more athleticism, I think, and I just think those guys that we're looking for don't grow on trees, Whitey.
No, they do not.
Like you look at most teams, their starting four-man is really kind of undersized. It's not the old 6'10", 6'11" guys that's starting at the four. Now it's 6'8" guys, 6'9" guys starting at four.
Well, your buddy Tony Jones told us John Collins is there to be had.
There to be had. Nobody wants him, no. Just drapes. I guess I'm president of the John Collins fan club. I'm going to get a picture with him tomorrow when I see him.
When we come back in defense of Kevin Herter, Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat? I don't know. Why? Peer pressure. Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat. Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
There's no need to be scared of auto maintenance this October. Your local Jiffy Lube has just the treats you need without the tricks, like fast oil changes or wiper blades for the upcoming rainy season. Serving greater Sacramento area customers since 1984 with over 30 convenient locations to choose from. Open daily, early at 7:30 and open past 6 p.m. at most locations. Just visit jiffylube.com to find a location near you and valuable coupons to save money too.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Yeah, I mean, giving up 44 in the fourth, you're not going to win many games like that. So, obviously, we can't give up a 21-0 run, but I think that's kind of where the game was lost.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Darren Fox, after the game Saturday night in Los Angeles, he speaks the truth. And what's doubly frustrating when you look at that 44-point fourth quarter for the Lakers and realize that's where the game was lost, the fact that the Kings actually outplayed the Lakers in the final 5 minutes of that fourth quarter.
Right, exactly. The clutch time, trying to close.
Yeah.
It's that started. Think about it. End of third against Minnesota, start of fourth against the Lakers. Maybe some sort of rotation change for Mike Brown during that stretch. But, I like the fact that they fought back in that game. They were down, they were trailing. Lakers tried to deliver the knockout blow, and the Kings came back and made it a game at the end.
I know a lot of people, at least on Twitter, were upset with Mike Brown, some of his coaching decisions after that game. The one thing Mike Brown said after the game that was on him was late when the Kings trapped, and it led directly to, I think Rui Hachimura got a uncontested lay-in and made it a two-possession game again. Mike Brown said, that we didn't need to do that then. We still had timeouts. I told the team that was on me. As far as the timeouts go, and it's easy to go, wow, he should have called a timeout there. Would it have mattered? We don't know. But he said he needed the timeouts for later in the game, and he was glad he had them. And he said, I don't know, should I call the timeout? Or maybe. I don't know. Maybe I should have. But I don't think he really felt like that was a mistake. But that was one thing he said to the team was he had them blitz and double, and it led to an easy Laker basket.
Yeah, and the fact that, they went on a 21-0 run to start the fourth. And Mike Brown used one timeout, I think it was. And so some people are saying, no, you got to don't wait till it's 14-0 run to call that timeout. Call it when it's 8-0 run right off the jump or something like that. I mean, that's hindsight.
We'll never know. Would it have
never
helped?
know, right?
Maybe,
Who knows?
maybe not. Yeah.
Would it have helped? Would it have made it? We don't
We
know.
don't know.
What we do know is they lost the game, and people, you're going to point to that stretch and say, that's where we gave it up. That's where we lost it.
I do want to point out something here that Drapes actually mentioned earlier on Drapes Takes.
Yeah.
A lot of people also upset about, Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter was minus 29 and plus minus. What is he doing out there? He was on the floor during that blitz by the Lakers. And Kevin Huerter, yes, he was on the floor. I think his man, from what I read, scored one basket. And that was about it. And look, nobody played especially well during that stretch. But when you cherry pick plus minus for one game, it's worthless. It's very easy to do because, again, I point this out. Anthony Davis, I thought he had a pretty good game. He had 31 points on 15 shots. He got to the line 13 times, 9 rebounds. He was a minus 22.
Yeah.
So in one game, plus minus really doesn't mean anything. So when your genius basketball buddy, says, well, so-and-so was minus 17. You just tell them, so what?
Right, so what?
Now, over the course of a week, a month, a season, plus minus, then you look at it. But for one game, no, we're better than that, Drake.
I'm with you, man. And, over the course of a season, yes. And, 5-man groupings, over some time, yes.
Right.
Say, but in that, like, you can't, that's why you got to watch the game, man. And I thought Kevin Huerter was fine.
He made some shots, which is encouraging.
Right. He made some shots, and we just had to do a better job of guarding LeBron James. Like, for LeBron to go off the way he did, I think that 21-0 run, I think he had 14 of the points. I mean, he's too good of a player to let him get comfortable and let him get cooking like that.
Yeah.
So that's not a Kevin Huerter problem. That's a Kings problem.
Austin Reeves, 33 minutes, had 16 points, took 12 shots, made 7 of them, took 4 threes, made 2 of them. Had 4 offensive rebounds, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, minus 20.
Minus 20.
You see? In one game, plus minus is meaningless.
Hey, Jackson Hayes, 14 minutes and change, was a plus 24. Was he the best player?
Yes.
He was the team high.
Great
plus
for him,
24.
and you will never lose
he was
a game.
The reason they won the game, you know? And
yes.
So, you can't do that, man. Like, and that's the thing. You can't, wake up the next day or later that night, it had to be Kevin Huerter's fault. No, it really wasn't. I thought Huerter played well, and it's just we got to be better, man. Like, the thing about what we're seeing,
and he's got to continue to play probably even better than that.
Yeah, that was an encouraging sign.
Yes,
on Saturday. Like, that was okay. If Kevin Huerter can give us that or even more, we'll be in good shape. And so, remember, that was only his second game too, back from injury.
Right.
But Whitey, we got to do a better job, man, playing full 48. We got 2 games that we just played that we probably could have won, maybe even should have won. But a 4 or 5 minute stretch each game, Minnesota is like a 2.5 minute stretch, where they made their run. That's killing us right now. It's killing us.
So Kevin Huerter did not cost the Kings the game, but it's still something of a mystery as to why Keon Ellis did not play.
Dude, I'm waiting for Mike Brown's pregame availability in about 2 hours. Hopefully somebody will ask him about that. I mean, and what's crazy about it, Whitey, is that the guy goes from starting last season, helping your defense out.
Had a great game in your playing tournament win. Right here.
Yeah.
Great game.
Great game. Then he goes to, in the preseason, starting. I understand Kevin Huerter wasn't available, but he's starting to not playing at all. Like, the fall from grace, like, what the hell happened? And so, he has to get some minutes. I'm not sure why Mike didn't push that button the other night.
We'll see him tonight, right? I would bet we will.
Got to. Yeah. Like, if it's 2 DNP CDs, that would be discouraging. That would lead me to believe maybe there's something more, or maybe Keon's not doing something he's asking of him, or something. Like, like, you got to give that guy a chance.
Remember, and we're just spitballing here and we're speculating. I am, and maybe it's not fair, but last week we had Anthony Slater on with us when we were out at Beach at Delhi. He said, look, it's possible that Keon Ellis just did not do enough to secure that starting job when Herter was hurt. Maybe they felt like he just didn't play well enough.
Which is quite possible.
But then to go from that to not playing at all.
Not playing? Okay,
Yeah.
you're not starting, but
yeah,
at least you're still in the rotation. This dude is completely out of the rotation. That's why I said I was shocked by that. I'm sure Keon was shocked as well. And you could have used him. Maybe not against LeBron. He's not no LeBron stopper. But D'Angelo Russell got going a little bit. Austin Reeves, you mentioned some of his stats got going a little bit.
Minus 20.
Yeah, minus 20 though. All right. But how about this? Austin Reeves shouldn't have what? How many offensive rebounds? 4 offense. Come on now. Come on. Maybe Keon does a better job blocking out.
Rui Hachimura, 4 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, they killed us on the glass. What was the second chance points numbers?
Second chance points weren't bad. Kings 13, Lakers 15.
Okay.
But still, rebounding wise,
yeah,
13 offensive rebounds, as we said earlier, for a Laker team that didn't miss that many shots. That was bad. And
right.
Again, gets back to, we all want to say that, rebounding, it's all about effort and desire. Sometimes it's about who's bigger. It is. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're right about that. How about LeBron had 14 rebounds, 0 offense? That's shocking. AD had 3. But let me ask you this. Is Austin Reeves bigger than us? Is Rui really bigger at that position than us? I
punched a pretty big hole in my statement. I give you credit. Yeah. You did. Yeah.
Sorry not to go against you.
No, I'm glad you did.
Maybe it is effort in that instance. We got to do a better job. I feel like too. I'm gonna get the Lakers credit. I thought Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, their effort to attack the glass, that was, and that they've been doing that all this season too, Whitey. That's been a big difference from them. They're much better in offensive rebounding this season than they were last season, and I think it's an emphasis that JJ Redick is putting on. We got to do a better job of that.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We don't get to as many calls as we'd like to when we're out and about, so I apologize for that. Okay. We'll get to Jay. Jay's hanging on Sacktown Sports. Hey, Jay, thanks for hanging. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for hanging. What can we do for you?
I just want to talk about tonight's game plan with Kings and Trailblazers.
All right, what you got for us?
What do you got, Coach Tony?
Man, I think the game plan is going to be very simple tonight, and that's starting with Jeremy Grant. He's going to be in a straitjacket all night long. You're going to have to make frequent subs to keep up the defensive intensity against him. But if you're looking at his season stats so far, he had 34 opening night, 28 the other night. We're going to shut that down. He can't score more than 18 points tonight. You can have Anfernee Simons or whoever it may be score 30 on us. I don't really care. They don't have enough firepower to outscore us at the end of the night. But if Jeremy Grant scores 30 plus, I guarantee you we lose tonight.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Yeah, I like that, man.
He shoots the 3-ball well, and that's been an issue for the Kings again this year.
Yeah.
Defending the 3-point line.
Yeah. 28 last night.
Grapes is in his bag right now.
Am I?
Well, you're going in. You're deep in.
I'm going deep into my notes here.
Yeah,
my little stats.
We're not all privy to those facts.
Exactly. These are things you can't just look up.
Right.
These are legitimate notes.
Those box scores, man.
Nah, it ain't no box scores, Jay.
It might be exaggerated box scores.
I'm more advanced than that. Check
Glorified box scores.
Check them, Whitey. Check them.
Now. I'm saying I got notes. Chauncey Billups. He's underappreciated talking about Jeremy Grant.
I love Jeremy Grant.
Mainly because we just haven't won. And that's true. This Blazers team, to me, they have talent. They just don't know how to put it together.
This is true, Drapes. Last year, I wanted to get him. The next week, I did.
Right.
And the week after that, I did. Then the week after that, I wasn't sure. But
does he fit, and I know he's on the opposing team, but does he fit that size and length that you're talking about that we need? Is he a guy that at the 4 we could use?
I think so. Wings is the things.
Yeah.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Tony has been hanging on. Hey, Tony, what's up?
Hey, I wanted to talk about the roster and also about their off-season people that they got in the team.
Yes,
I looked
Tony?
at going into this season. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah,
we
go
got
ahead,
you.
big fella.
Fire away.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
Anyway, I looked at the off season and I'm going, they got some pretty good pieces. All they need is a athletic big guy that can help guard the rim and play inside and outside to complement DeMonta. And instead, the last thing they needed was guards, and they draft a guard, they pick up a couple other guards, and I'm going, what is that? Because I see them, if they had somebody like a Carl Anthony Towns or, any kind of a quality big guy that can shoot, but also play some defense and has size to match up, they would be a contender. What they did
Thank you,
just
Tony.
blows my mind
Yep.
because they didn't address those issues.
Let me ask you, Tony.
Gotcha.
No,
He
because
speaks for many.
no, because a lot of people say that. Well, give me some names. Who should we get? Those guys don't grow on trees, Whitey.
He mentioned Carl Anthony Towns.
Come on.
Well, that's the name he said.
Come on.
We were
come
just
on,
talking about
come
Jeremy
on,
Grant.
Come on.
Kyle Kuzma is somebody they were looking at.
Kuzma ain't curing that. Kuzma,
John Collins is somebody you've talked about.
Yeah, I like John Collins. Kuzma is Keegan Murray light. Like Kuzma ain't helping us out in that regard. Like you look at those guys just aren't out there, man. And I hear Tony there with the call. We're bringing in all these guards. I hear you. I understand that frustration. Everybody says we need size and length. I guarantee. I feel like Monty and Wes and those guys know that.
Yeah,
like if those guys were out there,
right,
we'd go out there and get them.
Right. So there's lots of different factors. I'm sure they know that, and I'm sure they're looking at that right now.
Right. Exactly. Come on. They're not dumb. Like they understand.
But it is frustrating from a fan standpoint, when you see the team like, wow, they should get somebody like this. And they continue to get guys that, they already have a lot of the guys at that size.
Yeah. I would like our YouTubers and our texters to come up with some names.
There you go.
I'm not seeing who everybody is clamoring for. We all know what we need. That's the easy part. How do we get them?
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part. Who are the names and how do we get them?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Or do you think the Kings have just all they need right now? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's a drive, guys. We'll continue with that on Sacktown Sports.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
It's 4th and goal. The pressure's on. The home team needs this to win it. No matter what you're up against, it's always a win at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Special finance options and trade-in offers make it easier than ever to upgrade your ride. Because at Stockton Honda, we believe everyone deserves a winning deal.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report. Grab the keys to a new Toyota. Let's go! And go apple picking. Go to a football game. Go ghost hunting. Or not. This fall, get a low lease on the sporty 2024 Corolla, adventure-ready RAV4 Hybrid, rugged Tacoma, and even the new all-hybrid 2025 Camry.
Grab the keys, come on, let's go.
Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available to TFS buyers with premium rated credit until 11/4/24.
Sacramento State football is back at home this Saturday. Join us for Salute to Heroes Night and check out some high-flying action between your Sacramento State Hornets and the Portland State Vikings. And after the game, stick around for the post-game fireworks show. It's this Saturday, November 2nd at Hornet Stadium. 6 o'clock game time between Sacramento State and Portland State. Tickets on sale now at hornetsports.com. We'll see you there, and Stingers up.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Story starts when it was hot and it was summer and
back home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Great dinner shot. A girl here. Tay. That made it just as she was stealing from. She's not a saint, and she's not what you think. She's an actress. Wow. I told you, big fella, this is the boy. Whitey, I don't just. I'm enjoying it. Wow. Man, 5 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. 5 weeks. Not that I'm counting. Vancouver, Canada. BC.
Yeah.
I'll be up there. I'm excited.
Life savings.
Pretty much. Big
But worth it. But worth
why
it.
do you think I got to work 2 jobs? Shoot. Man, I'm excited about that.
Here's a real quick football note there, not to change the subject, I apologize, but this is 1 minute ago. Shane Steichen, coach of the Colts, local guy. Shane Steichen avoided naming Anthony Richardson as the Colts starting quarterback going forward.
I mean, the dude checking himself out of games. I mean,
well, he was tired.
I've never seen a quarterback do that.
Never, ever, ever.
Like, that's the one position where, so what? You're tired? You got to keep playing. Like, we've seen running backs come out after a long run or a play or wide receivers, but a quarterback? Yeah.
I know that when I played, Pee-wee, Pop Warner, if I'd done that, they would have never let me play again.
Right. Yeah.
You what?
And here's the thing. You may be tired, but you can't show the fatigue. You just got to play through it.
Right.
Oh, what are you crunching on over there?
I don't know. It's just
like a fortune cookie or something over there.
That was
Saltine
him. It's
cracker.
the timing was right when I moved my foot.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I was like,
strange. Yeah.
Oh man.
We'll get back to the phones real quickly here on the text line. I think we should run Len and Sabonis on the floor together more often from the 209. I know you're not crazy about that, Drapes. From Jeff, you guys keep talking like the team is going to magically fix their size deficiency. Monty hasn't addressed this in 2.5 seasons. I like your optimism, but reality says otherwise. That's from Jeff. And we also have from Chris the Mom. I wish I knew more about details in basketball because as much as I've loved Domas, I find myself so frustrated with him at the games. And then when he does the hippity hop running down the court and hesitates on his move, I fear a turnover. I need my head examined, says Chris the Mom. No, Chris the Mom, every time he does that.
You don't like the hippity hop either?
No. The
gallop?
If you're old school, we're both kind of old school. You know, I find myself, give it to a guard. Right?
I didn't know that bothered you guys so much.
Oh, and he comes down fine, but then the
blueprint. He's waiting for everybody. Let's go.
We do not do
the Magic
that
Johnson hop
at this level.
Leave Domas alone.
Well, he's tremendous, but Chris the Mom, I understand where you're coming from.
Oh man.
All right, who do we have on the phones here? Mike, you're on the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I just have a few things to ask you. You already touched on it a couple times with the closers. Like last year, we had Fox, amazing fourth quarter guy. Now we have DeRozan. I know it's a small sample, but it seemed like game one, we didn't really know who the closer was going to be, and it seemed like they tried to go to DeRozan to get him in, and Murray hit the final shot. And then game two against the Lakers, as a Kings fan, I was able to see DeRozan. He really is that good. He can shoot the three. He can try to close the gap in the fourth quarter. What do you guys think is going to happen as it plays out through the season? And one more thing for Drapes. I want to shout out Drapes. Drapes, your call with the Splash Mountain 3 was legit. We love it. Go Kings.
My guy. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
That's Mike.
Mike, my guy. You know what I'm going to do? What? Never mind. I can't do it. That's sort of self-promoting. I don't want to do something like that.
What?
But I order a bunch of Drapes Guy shirts and hand them out to, like, if you make a call, like you call in, you make a good point, my guy. So, Mike, I would send him a shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
We have the play-by-play voice of the Blazers coming up, Travis Demers. You know what he does?
What?
He gives tickets away a lot. I'm not saying,
man, come on.
He gives away a lot of tickets.
I believe I give away a lot too. Hey, the thing about, how do you know that though?
Because he on Twitter he goes, hey, hit me up.
He's looking for the self-promotion. Me, I give them out stealthily. I don't have to put it on social media. I donate them to certain charities and organizations.
All I'm saying is a
like
t-shirt. That's nice, but
you know what I did,
Whitey? Bro?
You know what I did? You know what I did?
Man, get you some t-shirts, Drapes. Don't let him talk you out of that.
I know. Jay, don't worry about it. I ain't listening to comments from the peanut gallery over there trying to troll me. Where's that Emron store? It was trade night. My daughter was selling bracelets. I said, all right, whoever buys 3 bracelets, I'm lacing you with Kings tickets. You enter in there. And so I got to text the guy, but
that's nice.
That's
Very
what
nice.
I do, big fella.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And so, but I
I
don't
know
put,
you gave Manny tickets. I saw you give Manny tickets.
Right,
and I mean, he was so appreciative.
But I didn't put it on social.
Uh-huh.
That's not me, man. I may act that way, but in real life, I'm not trying to say, look at me, look what I'm doing. That's not how I roll, man.
Nice. So what do you want to do? You want to give away what now?
Some t-shirts, like, a Drapes Guy shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we got some loyal listeners too. Amadrock.
Yes.
Is my guy. Ward is my guy. Compio, depending
Ryan
on
Williams art.
Definitely Ryan Williams art. Still got the wallet in the drawer at my house. And so, no, I appreciate the love out there.
That's
man.
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's see what Tom has to say on Sacktown Sports. Hello, Tom. What's up?
Hey, guys. I just got 2 things here. One, I think for the Kings to get back to their allure from 2 years ago when Mike Brown came in, I think De'Aaron Fox has to be more aggressive. I think he's got to just be more decisive, and he should be the number 1 option on the team. And the second thing is I wish Draper was our number 1 play-by-play caller, because that dude is the man. Woo!
Hey, this is my.
Look at that,
dude. You don't understand, Whitey. Your boy been taking hits all weekend from Laker fans, trolls on the morning show. And so to hear this, I appreciate that.
That's nice.
Hey,
That's very nice.
And I ain't even telling these people to call in or anything. I'm not paying them. I'm not doing anything.
Right.
They're just doing it.
I never thought you were until you just said I'm not.
know,
and
right?
I thought, wait, why did he say that? But no, I know you wouldn't.
That's hilarious.
Never crossed my mind.
Is that right? Until I brought it up, right?
Yeah. I was
So,
surprised that's kind of your bit. I'm surprised you didn't say, Tom, were you calling from the bullet train or something?
No, you know what I was thinking? I thought he was like in the space shuttle or something like that. But then he said something positive. So
Right.
I didn't want to, I was like, what, you an astronaut or something? You out there on Mars calling it? But
Hey, what about what Mike said?
Yeah,
I
what
know
he
we got carried away with all the nice things he said about you, but how about to his point that it looks like the Kings still unsure game to game who the closer is going to be? That's an interesting point.
and that's understandable, right? Like you got a De'Aaron Fox who's used to being the closer. You got DeMar DeRozan who's used to being the closer. And so I think both of them are sort of tiptoeing. And then Malik Monk can close out games sometime too. And so, right now we got 3 closers. If you want to throw Domas in there, you could say 4. But they have to figure out, and you tell me, Whitey, like I thought it would be whoever has it going that night kind of thing.
Depending on matchups.
Depending on matchups and all of that. And so I think right now they're still trying to figure it out. And I thought DeMar was looking like a closer. De'Aaron also, like both of them got cooking, I thought, in that fourth quarter. And so I think it's going to take a work in progress. But when you look at great teams, who's the closer for Boston?
Jason Tatum.
But Jaylen Brown can close too, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
He closed. Derek White, Drew Holiday. Like the thing is, you got to make the play when it's your turn. You know what I mean? It's not going to be DeMar DeRozan scoring 16 straight, closing out the game. It's going to be De'Aaron Fox making the right read, Domas getting the offensive read. Whatever the play needs to be made, everybody has to contribute in some way, I feel like.
It makes sense in theory that, hey, it's going to be determined night to night. That makes a ton of sense. But in reality, can you actually execute it that way? You know what I mean? It's kind of like a baseball team.
Yeah.
Like, who's the closer? Well, everybody. It just depends. Okay, that makes sense. But, when it comes down to it, you need, it's time to bring in Kimbrel or whoever. You need your closer.
Is,
So I understand why the Kings may take that approach. It's going to be interesting to see whether that actually works or not.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about the closer role? It's not always who takes the shot.
Right.
But the ball's in that person's
And it's
hand.
different in basketball, I know, than say baseball because the defense dictates certain things.
But late in games, let's say Denver, we know Jokic is touching the ball every possession. Who's our guy that has to touch the ball every possession and makes the decision whether to shoot or make the right read to pass? Or do we do what our offense is just read and react, free-flowing, equal opportunity? I think this is some of the growing pains that this team is having right now, which is understandable.
The interesting thing about that to me is, as you're saying that, I'm reminded that a couple of years ago, you could see the Kings would run like their offense for 3.5 quarters, and then De'Aaron Fox would take over. Remember, even Domas talked about that. He said, at that point, I just
get out the way, right?
Yeah. And it worked.
It worked. It didn't work last year, though. That's the thing. And so I'm actually A-okay. I was the other night in LA with DeMar being that guy, depending on how the night is going. Now, if De'Aaron's cooking, I get it. Yeah, De'Aaron's the guy. But I think you have to feel out the matchup, like you said, who has the advantage, and then rock with it, whoever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 games in, the Kings right now, an amalgam of hope and uncertainty, and we'll break that down when we return to Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento State football this Saturday at 6 versus Portland State. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Despite having no experience, Gavin Newsom made Jessica Morse his, quote, wildfire specialist. The result? Under Newsom and Morse, insurance rates and utility bills skyrocketed. Millions of dollars were slashed from the state's fire prevention budget, and they were even caught lying about their record, while millions of acres burned and families lost their homes. Now Gavin has chosen Jessica Morse again, this time to run for Congress. We have a better choice. Kevin Kiley. As our congressman, Kevin Kiley has worked across party lines to secure millions for wildfire protection and expand water supplies. And Kevin Kiley's bill to protect Lake Tahoe will bring up to $415 million home to our district to reduce the threat of fires and restore the ecosystem of the lake, delivering results and making a difference. Let's keep Kevin Kiley working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley. I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The future of cool, comfortable sleep is here. Introducing the new Sleep Number Climate Cool Smart Bed. The only smart bed in the world that actively cools and effortlessly adjusts to both of you. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. It actively cools to keep you cool and comfortable throughout the night. Save on smart beds now during our fall sale, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf.com's Josh Sens offers 5 common golf course maintenance mistakes and tips to correct them. You've hit the green, and to fix your divot, you jam your tool underneath the ball mark and lift the soil, but the right way is to circle the edges of the mark with your tool, gently pulling the turf toward the center. Second, when fixing divots in the fairway, fill it with sand until it's level with surrounding turf, and gently smooth it with your foot. Third, when the course imposes the 90-degree rule, it means to stay on the cart path until you can turn at a right angle to your ball, minimizing wear and tear on the turf. 4, when you're driving on the course, proceed at a modest pace and avoid staked and roped off areas. Avoid sharp turns, wet turf, bunker edges, tees, and greens. The superintendent will applaud you. 5, in a bunker, rake the sand smoothly and exit as you entered from the low side. Tap the sand from your shoes and leave it as if you weren't there. And now that you know, make sure your foursome knows as well. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Show them how Brooklyn do, you know what I mean? Listen, yo, let's start it up. Let's get it flowing.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, the Kings looking for that first win of the year tonight against the Portland Trail Blazers. Let's find out what state the Blazers are in as they come into Golden One Center. Nice enough to join us. Outstanding radio voice of the Portland Trail Blazers, Travis Demers. Travis, welcome. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, guys. Nice to have our first road game in Sacramento.
Please tell us that the Blazers are exhausted after the win last night and they have no chance of putting up a competitive effort tonight.
Well, when you were 20, 21 years old and you were running around like that, would you be good to go the next day? I mean, that's one of the good advantages about having the youngest team in the league. Now, we do have some veterans too, but it's also the first road game of the season, first back-to-back of the season, so I'm sure there are going to be some things that slow them down a little bit.
What do you think was the difference between Friday's loss to the Pelicans and yesterday's win against them?
Well, the defense was consistent for 48 minutes, and there were stretches in that game on Friday night. The Blazers went 4+ minutes without scoring, and the Pelicans went on a 13-0 run and took the lead there. And the defense for this team is what fuels the offense. The Blazers are not a great shooting team. They can get to the rim. They're getting to the rim as well as anybody in the league, actually significantly better than anyone in the league right now. And that's being led by Scoot Henderson. He's not finishing all that well yet. He'll get there, but they're getting to the rim. They're scoring in the paint, and they're significantly better there than they've been in years. But the outside shooting just isn't there. Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, sure, but the rest of the team just is not there. So this team is fueled by their defense, and there were stretches where they had defensive lapses on Friday night. They didn't really have those yesterday.
Travis Demers is with us. He's the voice of the Trailblazers. How different is this Blazer team from the Blazer team pardon me, that came here in April and that the Kings closed out the last regular season?
Oh, night and day. I mean, most of the guys that were playing in that game for the Blazers they're still on the team, but they're not going to play a whole lot. I mean, you think of all the players that were missing: Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant. I don't think DeAndre Ayton played in that game. Shaedon Sharpe, even though he's out today. And the other thing is that the Blazers for the last 2-3 weeks of the season, with the exception of Toumani Camara when he missed the last 8 or 9 games with an injury, they were starting 5 rookies, which no team in league history had ever done that more than one time, and they did it for like 2 weeks. So all of those guys that were rookies last year are now second-year players, and there is definitely a jump for most of them. Whether it's Scoot Henderson, Toumani Camara, Chris Murray has been very good. I mean, he's been incredibly consistent. And there were times last year where he wasn't playable, and now he's a solid rotation piece. I think it's just adding another year of experience for those guys.
When you look at your roster, you talk about how young it is, but then you got a smattering of veterans on this team as well. Grant, Ayton, How are those guys? And I don't think Matisse is playing tonight, right? How are the veterans mixing in with some of the young guys? Anthony Simons is kind of a veteran now too, I guess, in his own right.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's the longest tenured player on the team by a lot in his 7th year, and he's 25 years old. But Jeremy Grant might be the most laid back dude I've ever seen. He's just cool. He's cool to be around, and I don't think there's really anything that phases him. Whether he's playing with young guys, he's playing with veterans, he just blends in and he's great. DeAndre Ayton, I look at him, and follow me on this analogy here. He reminds me of my nephew who is 10 years old. He's a younger brother, okay? So he's got an older sister, and he's used to being the younger one. I've got a 6 and 4-year-old, and he loves being the older cousin, because my 6 and 4-year-old look up to him. And I think there's something to that with DeAndre Ayton.
He likes being the OG, like the vet.
Exactly.
Right.
In Phoenix, yeah, he was getting paid like it, but he wasn't the guy because he had, Chris Paul and Devin Booker and then Kevin Durant. In Portland, yeah, you got some older guys, but he is the man.
Yeah.
And when he goes out, he takes the younger guys under his wing. And the late stretches of last year when he was the only veteran on the floor, he could have complained. He was playing with young guys, but he didn't. He played his best basketball of the year and kind of elevated things. And all of these things that you hear about him of being, maybe a little out there as a teammate, everybody loves him. He's beloved by his teammates. And his maturity last year down the stretch, I was really impressed by that.
And those for those of you keeping score at home, those two boys are Lincoln and Lawson.
Yes, sir.
What's
That's right.
the deal with the L's?
Okay.
L names.
My ex-wife and I, we decided that we liked the alliteration with it and it worked out. So
yeah, Travis Dummer's with us here, voice of the Portland Trailblazers. What's your view? Not to put you on the spot, but we talked to all the announcers from other teams that we've been talking with in recent weeks about this fact. DeMar DeRozan coming here.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't sure of the fit. What's your view of how this is going to work out in Sacramento?
Well, I love the fit because he can get to the free throw line. And that was something, as you guys know, with the Kings, they struggled to get into the line last year. So you bring in somebody who is as good as anybody in getting to the line and then converting on those free throws, and then having another veteran presence. He can do so many things on both sides of the ball. And he doesn't shoot the three, but I think there are enough three-point shooters on this team. So I think there are some teams DeMar DeRozan would not fit in well with. I think this is a perfect team for him.
Nice.
And I really like the fit with him here.
Love it. Love to hear that. Back to your team. One guy I'm a fan of, and I've seen flashes, Scoot Henderson. What's the plan for him? How do they incorporate him? If I'm correct, he's coming off the bench right now. What are you seeing from Scoot his second year? I know it's still early in the season.
There's just been a lot of maturity from him, and you can see it in the preseason. You've seen it. You didn't really see it opening night. There's going to be some streakiness. He's 20 years old, and I think people forget that he was the number 3 pick, and fans expect him to be that number 3 pick right away. He was not. He really struggled to start last year. But the difference between him this year and last year is the decision making. He would try and force everything, and he still does that sometimes. But now he's playing more unselfishly and realizes that he doesn't have to do it all on his own and that he can't. When he was in the G League, he could just take over and get to the rim and finish and pass wherever he wanted. You can't do that in the NBA. And now that he's realized that, and he's setting up his teammates and putting them in a good position and not forcing things in the paint every time, it's allowed him to facilitate, and it's allowed the offense to turn the ball over less and create those live ball turnovers that this team got killed on last year. So for him, it's really about slowing the game down and having better vision. The shot, he'll work on that. That'll come. I'm not worried about that. But the court vision and the unselfishness has really gotten better.
Travis, this was obviously Dame's team forever. Where are they in terms of finding that next guy? Are they anywhere close to finding that next guy who'll be the face of the franchise?
It's a hard thing to answer because there's nobody that stood up to be that guy yet. Anthony Simons, at times looks like the best player. He's gotten better defensively, but he's an offensive guy. Jeremy Grant, Chauncey Billups talked about it yesterday that he doesn't get appreciated enough because this team just isn't winning. And the things that he has done on both ends of the floor.
Braves was just telling us about.
Yeah,
that.
I mean he's top 5 in the league in blocks right now, 3 games in. So there are a lot of different things that a lot of the players on this team can do. Is it Shaedon Sharpe, who we haven't seen in a very long time? I think that of the players on this roster, he has the best chance of being that guy. But
Shaedon Sharpe?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's also a chance, though, that player isn't on the roster right now. He might be playing college basketball somewhere.
Right.
So I know that the draft lottery might be the most nervous day for everybody in Rip City when that day gets here.
Right, exactly. Hey, Travis, when you look at, some of the things that have caused the Kings problems this season, size and length and, athleticism. I look at your front court with Ayton and then Klingon coming off the bench. How do you see those two guys matching up with what the Kings can do out there? And will they be huge factors maybe tonight?
Yeah, when we were here a couple of weeks ago for the preseason, the one thing that I noticed was rebounding.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got Sabonis, who is one of the best, if not the best rebounder in the league, but where else are those rebounds coming from? And the Blazers right now are killing it on both ends, the offensive and defensive rebounds. Last year, they were a great offensive rebounding team. but a terrible defensive rebounding team. You add Klingon, that elevates that defensive rebounding a bit. So I think if you're talking about the size, and right now it's weird for me to say these words. The Blazers have the tallest team in the league. I've been around this team for 20 years, and we've never been able to say anything close to that. They've got the tallest team in the league. And Denny Avdia is a great rebounder as well. And he right now, he's starting at 2 guard, which, I mean, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
2 guard,
so I think the rebounding is where the Blazers have that biggest advantage right now against Sacramento.
Travis, this may not be a fair question. Do you think that it's possible, if not likely, that come the trade deadline, the Blazers may be in position to look at moving some of the veterans in exchange of bringing in younger talent? Is that kind of where this franchise is right now?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah. I mean, look, Joe Cronin has talked about it quite a bit, that, look, he's not in a rush to move anybody, but he'll listen. And we've seen that. I don't know who those players are going to be. I mean, we have a pretty good idea of who they're going to be, but, you know, I don't know who's going to be coveted by what. If you look at last year's trade deadline, everybody in Rip City thought that Malcolm Brogdon was going to get traded.
Yeah.
But you look at the return that other teams got for their players, whether it was a Daniel Gafford or a PJ Washington, or whoever, it was maybe 2 second-round picks. And what you're getting back in that situation, it just wasn't worth to trade him. So that was kind of the thought going into the season, that, you know, eventually some of these guys are going to get moved, but it really depends on what the market shows. That market of a couple of years ago where you're getting 4 or 5 first-round picks is just not there anymore.
Travis, final question for me. Big year, obviously, for Chauncey Billups, Big Shot Billups, Hall of Famer. How is he handling this sort of rebuild? And, you know, he's a champion, a winner. It's taking some time. How would you say he's handling it?
I think he's handling it really well, because this is not the team that he signed up to coach. Right. When he came in, it was Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and Yusuf Nurkic, and they made a couple of trades. And this team was, you know, coming off of 8 straight years in the playoffs. And then CJ McCollum gets a collapsed lung in November, and Damian Lillard didn't play past New Year's Eve, and the team struggled, and then injuries the following year, and then the reset button was pushed. So this is not the team that he signed up for. But him and his staff are terrific at player development. And you could see it last year. You could see it at the start of this year. And Chauncey's a guy that's just always in a good mood. He's a great guy to be around, but he's also not going to sugarcoat things. He's not going to sugarcoat things with his players. He's not going to sugarcoat things with us. And I've been around a lot of coaches in this league, and I'm not saying other coaches don't do this, but I've never been around a coach who has been more honest about things, but at the same time, keeping a good perspective.
Yeah. Travis, we appreciate your time. I don't know why
Thanks for
RJ said such terrible things about you. I think you're
I would expect it coming from him.
He said he was right. He said you're a wonderful guy. We appreciate your time. Travis Demers, the play-by-play voice of the Blazers. Good luck tonight. We can't wish you too much luck, because we need one.
We just need a good game. We need a good game.
But we appreciate it. Mike Brown says the Kings did some things very well offensively Saturday. We're back with what those were, and the Drive Guys roll on Sacktown Sports.
When it comes to fighting for families and protecting kids, no one works harder than our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover. A member of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, Hoover has worked across party lines and proposed tougher penalties for fentanyl crimes, stricter sentences for drug trafficking near schools, and RILA's law to make sure anyone who abuses a child is held accountable. A former school board member, Josh has fought to support school police officers, prohibit homeless encampments near schools, and increase funding for school facilities. Josh Hoover knows that families have been paying more for everything from gas and groceries to utilities and insurance. In the Assembly, Josh is working to provide relief to families, reduce the cost of housing, and stop Gavin Newsom from raising gas prices even more next year. Josh Hoover is making a difference for our families, our community, and our future. Our voice, our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover.
Paid for by Hoover for Assembly 2024.
Do you know how much money you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. These may feel like scary times. Several economists are saying that a recession is imminent. So what do? Ancient wisdom says plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have an actionable plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan is executed to take advantage of market gains, but protect you from market losses. We would like to give you a free, no-obligation consultation to help you do all 3. We will help you discover your magic number and give you the roadmap to get there. Call now to schedule your free consultation. 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108. 800-508-6108. Don't wait. Call 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future result.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
Go.
Live and it's the Tribe Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Tribe Guys coming to you from the Golden One Center. Yeah. Travis has been hanging out with Drapes. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Travis.
usually people come up, do the show, and want to get out of here quickly. Right? He's hanging out.
Yeah. And I was just chatting with your one of your partners there, Deuce Mason was.
Oh yeah, Deuce here, nice and early.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Deuce a little nervous. About
Dude, him and Morgan always nervous, man. They got that PTSD. They worried, longtime Kings fans.
That's it.
So, yeah. Can I give a couple people a shout out on YouTube?
Shout it out.
My guy Marcus is on YouTube. First Co. Remember, I always wears T-shirts, so shout out to him out there. Also, Compio, of course, is one of our guys. There was somebody else that hyped me up, and Ryan Williams art, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah. Dang, I'm sorry. It was another guy.
That's all right.
Oh, sorry.
So many.
Yeah, so many gave me a shout out earlier, and so I wanted to acknowledge them, but shout out to my guy First Co. and Family Schlegel. Calls me a great dad. Oh, Curtis Hicks.
The great Curtis Hicks.
Yeah, he says I'm about to hand out my guy shirts all around town. Exactly. Maybe I will, man.
There you go. You should.
Now, those things cost money, though, Whitey. That's out of my own pocket, big fella.
Okay.
All right?
Uh-huh.
You know what's great? I got this website that I partnered with.
So why don't you sell them?
They are up there for sale.
Oh, okay.
But I got to change the design. The Kings didn't like the design. It was a little too close to the Kings logo.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm a team employee, I'm trying to obey the rules. They are super fire, though. They are super fire T-shirts. And I think I got a link on my Instagram page. But I can set the price for the T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So when I buy them, it's going to be like $2.99.
Yeah.
But for the general public, it's going to be like $34.99.
I see.
So,
when are you going to give them to people that come on the post game with you and things like that? Hey, thanks for coming on. You're my guy. Here's a T-shirt for you.
Well, my guy of the players?
Yeah. Isn't that kind of what you were thinking originally?
Yeah. Like
that?
my guy of the night. Thing. And then let me order them, big fella. I'm going to get on that. That's a good idea, though. I'm not about self-promotion, Whitey. Now, if you said, Drapes, I'm going to do this for you, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Great idea. But
so you need me to do it?
Yeah. Just go to my site and $34.99. And I might do that, though. That's a good idea.
All right. We're on to something here. It's all happening here on Sacktown Sports, where the Kings are getting ready to take on the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. I remember my dad years ago telling me that in baseball, when you play a bad team, you want to play them later in the year because later in the year they know how bad they are.
Ooh,
early in the year they don't know.
Yeah, that's true. They still think
You know
they
what
got
I
a
mean?
chance. Yeah.
So talking to Travis, and this team, maybe we'll see. Maybe they're in position to move their veterans at the deadline. Right now, the Blazers are just like, here we go. We're coming off a win. It's our 4th game of the year.
No, you're right. They're feeling good. There's still some optimism.
Yeah.
Amongst the players.
If they are bad, they don't know it.
They don't know it. And they've been waiting for 6 months to get out and play. So, they haven't been downtrodden yet. They haven't looked up at the standings and saw they're 20 games behind yet.
Yeah.
And so, no, you're right about that. That's why you can't take anybody for granted. I mean, think about it. They put a whooping on the Pelicans.
They did
last night. Like that.
Thank them for that.
Yeah,
huh?
right. Exactly. That helped us out. But now it's like, do they actually think they're halfway decent? Do they got some confidence coming out here tonight? And so we'll see, man. For me, I think if I'm a Kings player, I'm looking at the last 2 games saying we should have had those. Now we're back home. You said it earlier. It's almost a must win. You got to protect home. We talked about it earlier. You can't win 23 games. Can't go 23-18 at home or whatever it was last season. Like I need a 30-win home bout here. And so this is a big game already, I think.
Well, as you know, a lot of people already are talking about how, hey, a couple years ago, the Kings were 0-4.
Yep.
So there's nothing to worry about. But just in the West this year, this team, when that team started 0-4, people were like, yeah, well, okay. And then when they started winning, it was a pleasant surprise. This team's losing, and people already are pulling their hair out.
Yeah.
After 2 games.
Right. And it's 2 games against pretty good competition that we were in each game.
Yeah.
Like you're in it. You got a chance to win each game. And I just think the expectations are so high right now. If this was 2 years ago, like you said, and we started off 0-2, all right, we're fine. But now this is supposed to be a special year, a magical year, a year where, we make the playoffs and I had us winning 51 games. And so it's like, all right, let's start winning now, guys. Let's turn it up. Let's start going now.
Yeah. Mike Brown, obviously, post-game has been stressing the positive. After the loss to the Lakers, he said, quote, if we keep playing like that offensively, good things will happen. What stood out to you, Drapes, about the way the Kings played offensively in the loss?
I mean, I thought they shot the ball better, especially early on. Kevin Huerter. And the pace at which they were playing, Whitey.
Yes.
Like they got out and ran a lot. And I thought it was the defense leading to the offense. They shared the ball. I thought especially in that first half, equal opportunity. And they just played with pace, man. A lot of times, people think pace is, how fast you run. But I saw a pace with purpose the other night against the Lakers. And so
the idea of pace is it gets you easy baskets.
Right.
That's why you do it.
Right. That's that. And pace isn't always just fast breaks. So, you got pace in the half court. Your cuts are sharp. The ball movement is quick. Pace is based on how many shots you get per 100 possessions. And so are you letting it fly like Mike Brown likes to say, and that's one thing real quick. I want to give Domas some credit on, when it comes to the perimeter, I'd still like him to go quicker in the post and stop double and triple pump faking and things like that. But it seems like he's making up his mind quicker on the perimeter, which is a good thing as well.
All 5 starters in double figures.
How about that balance?
Yeah.
Yes.
23 for DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
Keegan had 14, 29 for Domas. Huerter had 14 and 28 for DeMar DeRozan. Then Malik off the bench with 14.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the kind of balance I think we need night in and night out. Like a little more from the bench, but when Kevin Huerter's in the starting lineup, all 5 guys got to be in double figures. If Keon was there, it might be some nights where he has 6, 8. That's understandable. But if Kevin Huerter's out there, he got to score some points too. I think.
Yeah. But then again, not to belabor the point, but after Malik Monk, they just didn't get a lot from the players that did play. And not a lot of players played. And I know Mike Brown said it after the opening loss here. He said, well, as you can see from the minutes, I'm still figuring out my rotations. And I just think he's looking for somebody, as he was for much of the early part of last year. He's looking for somebody to play well enough to demand more minutes.
Let me ask you this, though, Whitey, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Is it too early to be demanding? Like, Don't you got to let the guys play and then see?
Yeah, well, I just mean he's waiting for somebody to go out and play well enough where it's like, all right, well, he's got to play more minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. To take the reins, if you will.
Yes.
You know, like we talked about with Keon, you know, during the preseason and summer league, he didn't, you know, do enough to assume that starting role. And so, but here's the thing I do know about players. I'll tell you this. They can't play one game and then don't play the next game. And then, I mean, like they need a rhythm, you know, and I think when I look back at last year and, you know, it's almost the chicken or the egg. Like, you know, I talked to Chris Duarte about this, how hard it is to, you know, produce when you're not even sure if you're going to play. Like players like to know, like Malik knows,
right,
6-minute mark or whatever. I'm coming in. I'm relieving De'Aaron. Trey Lyles, you know, hopefully this year we'll know. But with Keon not playing at all, what's his mindset like tonight coming into this game?
Yeah, I know that's a great question. I'm in the minority when it comes to that issue because I feel like if I'm the coach, you have to play well. If you play well, I will want to play you. If you're not playing well, why do I want to play you more?
Let me ask you this, though, to push back on you a little bit. If you're looking over your shoulder and worried about getting pulled, can you play freely when you're out there? Are you worried if
That's
you make
what we pay you to do? I get that,
You
but
know?
yeah, I need somebody who's going to play well. So when people say they're not playing well because I don't know what my role is, I remember Bruce Bochy saying that years ago in one of the off years with the Giants where he was a master of handling the bullpen. And there was one year, one of the even years or odd years, pardon me, where the bullpen was terrible. He said, well, I can't give them roles because they're not getting anybody out. And so I know where the coach is coming from. He would love to have like, man, I have too many guys playing well. I don't know who to play because they're all playing well. And that clearly has not been the case.
Yeah, I just find that 2 regular season games isn't enough time to make a decision on whether guys can play well or not yet, you know? And so
he has been kind of chasing wins, huh?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. He's
Yeah.
trying to win the game and he's going with his tried and true guys. There's a reason why so-and-so, like Jordan McLaughlin didn't even get a chance opening night.
Right,
remember?
right, yeah.
And then he only gets 3 minutes. Like he can't show anything.
And I want to clarify what I mean by that because if you're, you know, casual fan, you think, isn't that what the coach is supposed to do? Chasing wins.
right.
But I feel like early on, Mike Brown is trying to win the game at the expense of some things he's going to have to do down the road where he's not playing as many guys right now because he wants to get a W.
Yeah. And that's what I felt
and
like.
This is not sustainable over the course of a season.
Exactly. And that's what I felt like the first 2 games. And, you know, you said it and, you know, I had thought it too. I didn't want to say it, but it seemed like he's trying to do whatever he can to win that particular game that night. And if it's playing Fox 41 minutes, because he's one of your best, if it's playing DeMar, like, so be it. It's almost the Tom Thibodeau, conundrum where, you know, Tibbs, he's riding his starters hard because they're his best players.
Yes.
He's going to give his best players the most minutes.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Unless you keep doing it and it's not working.
Yeah, and it's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working because then when you do turn to the bench, it's like, oh, we ain't been playing all season. What can we give you? And so I do think in the games, he's trying to win that basketball game.
Yes.
And he's going with his starting 5 or his top 6. You know, like the other day against the Lakers, that closing lineup that we know he likes to run, he brought it back early at like the 6.5 minute mark or something like that. Usually it's, you know, around 4 minutes, 5, but because of the situation, he needed his best 5 on there at that given time.
Mm-hmm. So how far off do you think these minutes are from what ideally the Kings and Mike Brown want to play these guys? And how far off are they from what they'll be able to play these guys? DeMar, 37, Keegan, 39-45, Domas, 36-45, Herter played 26, De'Aaron, 41 minutes.
I think DeMar, De'Aaron, Domas, he'd like around 35 minutes. Keegan, I think he's okay with stretching him out a little more. Young guy, 24, you know, young legs. But those
Can he
other
play
3,
40 minutes?
Huh?
Can Keegan play 40 minutes?
I mean, what did DeMar play last? DeMar played 40 minutes last year, 38, 39. I mean, I don't know about 40, but 37, 36, he can. But you also have to look at the position too. Who's spelling it? right now we're really only leaning on Trey Lyles and a sprinkling of Alex Len at the 4-5. So think about it. If Sabonis needs 15 minutes and Keegan needs, well, I'll say Sabonis needs 13 minutes. Keegan needs 11 minutes. That's 24 minutes. You're talking roughly 9 for Alex Len and 15 to 20 for Trey Lyles. That goes back to our lack of depth.
Yes.
Keegan, out of necessity, may need to play 38, 39 minutes because we don't have anybody else.
That's what's, I think, frustrating from the standpoint of a fan is Harrison Barnes for years was playing a little bit out of position, right? Fair enough to say?
Yeah. Last year, yeah.
So now you've got DeMar DeRozan has to play some 4. So he's playing a little bit out of position, right? So from a fan standpoint, it's like, well, wait a minute. This problem hasn't been addressed. But again, I think we agree. We believe the Kings are looking at that. They're examining those options. They just haven't found the solution yet.
Yeah, they haven't found a solution. And, whether it's in-house with an O-Rob or, by way of trade or signing somebody. I mean, we also have to understand it's only game 2. Moves can still be made. Like,
right.
I would be surprised if the roster, the way it's constructed right now, is our roster the entire season. Like, I think they're going to make some sort of move, bring some sort of a bigger body in, and there's still time to do that. Monty and Wes and Paul, they're not dumb. They see it. They're basketball people. They see exactly what we see. So we can't act like a talking head on radio and TV or Joe Schmo on his mom's couch knows more. They see the same thing. They understand it, Whitey, right?
I know. But fans are like, well, then why did they draft another guard?
Right. Yeah. I think they went best. I think their philosophy is best player they think at the time, regardless of position.
It's only 2 games in, but it's still early. But I think late comes early in the West, in the Western Conference. You know what I mean? It's early, but late comes early because
I like what you mean.
If they
late might be November, December.
Thank you. Right? The shadows are long this time of year, so just at some point, it's early, but you don't have they're 2-8. It's okay. It's early.
Right.
I don't think they'll be 2-8.
Right.
But that's why Mike Brown, I think, is chasing wins.
Not necessarily a bad thing, right? I mean, I guess it's bad if you're chasing it, and like you said,
if you don't get them,
then it's like, dang, now where do we go?
Yeah.
But no, I'm with you, man. And we played 2 of the Western Conference toughest teams. Like I think the Lakers probably are going to be better than I expected them to be this season, like they are so far. Then you play Minnesota, Western Conference finalists. To me, the real test starts now. Let's see, like we talked about it early. Can you beat the teams you are supposed to beat? This Portland team, second night of a back-to-back. Youngest team in the league. Our
opportunity
boys.
Right now.
Exactly.
Hello?
Now's the
Anybody
time.
In there?
And here's the thing, Wade. When we looked at the schedule, we knew it was a possibility we'd lose these games. And it's not like we were embarrassed or anything like that. We just lost. They got us that night. Lakers were at home. They got us. Minnesota, we let the go of the rope just a little bit. Now's the time to handle your business. Now, if it happens again tonight, give up a 15-0 run to the Blazers, then we can start being like, yo, what's going on? But I'm going to see what we do tonight.
What has been to you so far, 2 games in, the most promising aspect, the most encouraging aspect of how they've played? What's been the most discouraging?
The most promising thing, and this is going to sound boring, the free throw shooting.
Oh, nice.
Not only that we're knocking them down, but we're also getting to the line. 35 and I think 25 in game 2. Like, that's impressive to me. And the fact that, we're shooting better than 80% from the free throw. That was one of our hangups, right? That was one of our things we talked about. And they're doing it. So that's really promising for me. The way this team is knocking down their free throws.
And getting to the line.
Yeah, and I think Fox was 8 of 9 last night, or 7 of 8. Let me look that up real quick. 7 of 8. How about that? Domas was 8 of 9. Like, these are 270, 71% free throw shooters last year, and they're knocking them down so far this early of the season. So that's probably the most promising thing. I'll also throw in my guy Keegan Murray. Like, I think Keegan's playing exceptionally well. Only 11 shots last game. So you had De'Aaron 20, Domas 14, Monk 14, DeRozan. But I think Keegan is taking what's there. Like, he's being aggressive. So I'm encouraged by that.
To me, the most encouraging thing is that in the last game, the offense performed at such a high level.
Yeah.
And because there have been a lot of questions about the offense, DeMar DeRozan coming in, are they still going to be able to play at pace? And they didn't play well. The offense didn't play well in the preseason. And then that's what you want the offense to look like with the number of assists they had. They shot the 3 ball. We know they can shoot it better, but they shot it reasonably well. And they shot 51%. They scored 127. To me, it's like, okay,
Man.
the offense is going to be all right. That's encouraging.
Yeah, that's what we want.
That's where
right?
they're going to make their meat this year.
Yeah, and I know it's way super early, but when I look at, where the Kings are offensively, obviously coming off the monster game, 127 points the other night against the Lakers. They're 6th in offensive rating, Whitey, and I know it's still early, way too early, but that's where you want to be, though, right? Like that, you want to be, top 10, ideally top 5. And so that's maybe they get back to their offensive roots that we saw from 2 years ago.
To me, the most discouraging thing is I feel like the depth isn't there, and that's one of the reasons they haven't been able to secure either one of these first 2 wins. They were there for the taking. They didn't get it done, and I think the fact that they're not getting much off the bench is a big reason for that, and that's a little discouraging.
Yeah, here, and I'll say this about the bench, and I brought it up, a couple of times. Talking to Monty McNair, he thought that would be a strength of ours. Haven't seen it yet. I don't know if it's, because Trey is just getting his legs back under him. We haven't seen the bench enough. Like, Mike hasn't used him enough to really get a gauge on how good this bench is. But, think about this. Keon Ellis coming off the bench. That was one of our strengths, right? That's a guy we're looking, when we talk about how deep we are. Oh, we got Keon coming off the bench. But he didn't even play. So Mike, I got to imagine, goes deeper into his bench tonight. It's way too early just to be going 7 deep, right? Like that's something you do, as you get closer towards the end of the season, jockeying for position. We can't just go 7.5 deep right now. We should be 9 and 10 easily.
So the Kings tonight opening a stretch of games that, on paper anyway, look imminently winnable. So there's still plenty of time to overcome this slow start. But obviously you just, that's easy to say. Oh, they should win this game. They should win that game. You just have to get it done, and they're going to have to bring a better level of defense if you want to win some of these games, especially when you get out on the road.
Yeah, and I'm actually slightly worried about this game because I understand Portland.
I understand it.
But we just had Travis come on.
Yeah.
He talked about them getting into the paint and, how great they are. They got some size. He called them the tallest team in the league. I didn't know that. I'm like, really? Like, now I'm like getting jittery. Now I'm a little worried. I'm like, shoot, like, come on now. And so, we got to take this team seriously, man. And one of the things too, I forget who I was listening to. I think it was Mark Spears earlier today on NBA Today. And he talked about how Joe Mazzulla in Boston, he finally got the players to buy in to respecting the opponent night in and night out and treating each opponent like they can beat you. I think that's, this we'll see tonight from Sacramento. That's what I'm like. Treat this Blazers team with the same respect you treated Minnesota, the Lakers. Like, come in here and let's see your best effort tonight.
Yeah, last time the Blazers were here, it was the regular season finale last year. Remember, going into that game, the Kings weren't even sure where they were going to end up in the play-in scenario, and they blew that team off the floor. However, this is, as the voice of the Blazers explained to us, this is a much different looking team. And in that game, the Blazers didn't even play a lot of their regular guys. So this, make no mistake, this will be a challenge tonight.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this Blazers team that we'll see tonight is last year when we lost to them in Portland, Dwop Reith had 26 points.
That's right. It was the Dwop Reith game.
He don't even get in much now. He played 4 minutes yesterday. He's like their 10th, 11th man. And so we saw last year where their 10th and 11th man, Dwop Reith, dominated. Now they're a little bit healthier. They're a little bit more balanced. Denny Avdia is a solid player. I really like him. Anthony Simons can hit 7, 8, 9 threes and get hot and drop 40 on you. And so we got to come out with some purpose. And I'd like to see a nice defensive game tonight.
Yes.
You know, I get it. You know, if you win scoring 131, 128, but that doesn't, make me feel comfortable about where we are. But if you win a game 120 to 98 or something then it's like, all right, we handled our business on both ends of the floor.
Drapes, I know you've been focused on the Kings, but has anything else jumped out at you around the NBA in the first few days of the season?
Yeah, I'm going to start, I mentioned it earlier. I think the Clippers are a little better than I expected, especially even without Kawhi Leonard. I think they're playing extremely well. A team that's struggling, I feel like the Indiana Pacers. What's up with Tyrese Halliburton? He's not playing well at all. I don't know if he's gassed or what. Didn't have his full offseason. But Tyrese Halliburton this year, I mean, think about it. This guy was, leading the league in assists, all-star. This year, 12.3 points, 3.7 assists through 3. What's going on? So they've been a little disappointing to me. That stands out.
Phoenix looks good, huh?
Yeah, they do. They do. Remember, against the Lakers on Friday, Phoenix was up 22 points. They had that game in hand, but then the Lakers came back. And so they look good. I look at a team. How about Denver? 0-2 so far. They got some issues, right?
Shoot. Yeah.
Westbrook is terrible coming off the bench. He's not playing well at all. It's Jokic, and then they may
I know you.
I said that, right? I mean,
were hoping they'd slide.
They might be a playing team the way they're looking, Whitey. Seriously.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, it's been a wild first half in the NFC as we continue to bask in the afterglow of that 49er win last night. Look at that wild finish in DC, and some of the TV numbers are in from last night, and they're huge. We're back with that Drive Guys Sacktown Sports.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah. Any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? 'Cause I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now that fall is here, now is the perfect time to head to Stockton and check out a new Mercedes-Benz. I had the opportunity just last week to drive an all-new S-Class 550, and let me tell you, it was a sweet ride. The moment I hopped in, I felt like I was in a world of luxury. From the steering wheel to the seat cooling and even the power of the engine, I was impressed. And then, of course, when I hopped in my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV, I felt the same thing. So hurry in and take advantage of the Mercedes-Benz incentive bonuses up to $15,000. And they have tons of pre-owned vehicles as well, including C-Class sedans, GLC SUVs, and a whole lot more. Take it from me, you won't be disappointed. So take the short drive down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online at mbofstockton.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's October does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one. And if you want to save on a new Ford, you got to drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with 0 down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
I don't have to tell you, Drapes, a lot of Kings fans get a little restless. Well, just based on some of the texts we're getting. And a win tonight would go a long ways towards soothing some of those jangled nerves. We'll get back to that in just a moment. But I want to talk about the 49ers. We got to get to our picks for tonight, of course.
Yes.
So just looking at that 49er win from last night, and thank you, Jay, for sending this note along from David Lombardi on X. 49ers Cowboys was Sunday Night Football's most watched Week 8 game ever per NBC Sports, peaking at 26.4 million viewers. So a lot of people saw the Cowboys' latest loss.
Two legacy franchises going
strong brands.
Strong brands. Halfway decent game, first half anyway. And so, two massive fan bases too, Niners obviously, and then Cowboys as well. So not surprising.
Mm-hmm. By the way, here's a trade. We're talking about the 49ers could make a trade. What could they do? Michael Silver reported that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will seek reinforcements via the trade market, according to I believe it's The Athletic. And you also have talk from Diana Rossini that Devon Godshaw and Kendrick Bourne. Devon Godshaw is a interior defensive lineman. Kendrick Bourne, former wide receiver. They are both with New England, and they are possible trade targets.
Yeah, I think
New England's gonna
sell. They're selling everything. Yeah.
So there you go.
Right,
Devon Godshaw and Kendrick Bourne
package deal.
Look at that. Yeah.
2 birds with 1 stone, 1 trade.
Yeah.
Get them both.
And they can have one of the receivers that the 49ers aren't crazy about, some draft picks, and there you go. Then you get Drake Greenlaw back. You get Christian McCaffrey back. And look out.
Super Bowl, here they
Look
come,
out.
right? Super Bowl, here they come.
Maybe.
There
it is.
Jay been waiting
There
all
it
day to
is.
use that. He's been waiting all day to use that. Who we
Two
got
other
right
two other San Francisco players, according to Diana Rossini, have been discussed internally by the 49ers. DJ Jones with the Broncos and DeForest Buckner with the Colts.
That'd be a big-time pickup.
Yeah.
That would be a big pickup.
However, most learned league observers say their teams aren't going to trade those guys.
Yeah, that's – I mean, it's clear they need something. And, how about the Chiefs making another move too? Like, teams are going for it right now, and I'm surprised the Niners haven't been more active out there, like getting something done. I got to imagine this next week they will. You still feel like they have the same holes, like nothing you saw yesterday makes you think, all right, we're good at that. I was concerned, but we're okay at that position.
Well, they're getting back already another linebacker, presumably, and their best offensive player. I know sitting here last year, you said McCaffrey's their best offensive player, maybe the best offensive player in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that addresses that. And then they just need to, beef up their run defense a little bit. Yeah. And the receivers right now is like, it does look like they're missing Brandon Ayuk. And I know a lot of people say, oh, he was terrible. They shouldn't have made him all that many. Blah, blah, blah. They miss him. So,
yeah, they still don't have a deep play guy. You know what I mean? Like, is Ricky
somebody to
Pearsall
blow the top off the cup?
Yeah, somebody that they could. I would imagine if you get somebody like that, that opens up Debo, Kittle, like Ricky P. Like then you could do some real damage. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they get a receiver that can stretch the field a little bit more than what they have right now.
Yeah, Jay, I know earlier you had said that you like the idea of the 49ers going out and getting somebody. Do those two guys do anything for you? An interior defensive lineman, Devon Godshaw, and maybe bringing back Kendrick Bourne? Did that do anything for you, Jay?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. They're two places of need. I think Kendrick is more Brandon Ayuk-ish. He's more possession wide receiver. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I think he's more of a, 25 yards and then I'm going to handle the ball, get you a tough first down, a la Jawan Jennings. Godshaw's just a big human being. He's a big boy. Yeah. He's one of those guys that is a run stuffer. So I think it makes sense. But I'm with you guys. November 5th, next Tuesday, right? A week and a day from today. Yeah. Of course, we'll have bigger things going on throughout our country. But, for the 49ers, they definitely – and one thing, let me say this, fellas. The front office is aggressive anyway, so we know they're going to make a move. Yeah. They stay on the gas pedal. I expect something to get done.
Yeah, they have to make that decision. Are we legitimately in it for this year? Then we're all in. We got to make some moves. Or, you know what? Someone's got to say, are we going to give up future assets to maybe just be kind of okay down the stretch?
Right.
I think they should be all in, but that's what they have to decide.
I think so, too, because I agree with you about being all in. You got to win it this year, right?
Yeah.
And I don't care what happens going down the line. Like you win it this year, the future doesn't matter anymore. Like we're riding, Niners, we're riding high.
Gravy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gravy, you know? And so
and the schedule does stiffen up a little bit.
Yeah, these next 4 or 5 games will be a challenge. And so they handled Dallas, lost to KC. Obviously, but everything, and I heard some of the players talking about this yesterday, everything that they want to accomplish is still there. Hasn't been easy, hasn't been rosy, just 4-4, but you're still can be division champs, make the playoffs, win the Super Bowl.
Like Jay said, your head's still above water.
Your head is still above water, but I'm with you, man. I'm going all in. Whatever the talent is, I mean, you're not going to do anything silly, obviously, but don't let, trying to prepare for the future stop you from winning the Super Bowl this year.
They better be all in.
To consider. Yeah, I know. Another thing to consider is the fact that the NFC, are basically halfway through the season now. The NFC has been wild. The AFC has been, the Chargers would be in playoff position. That's maybe a mild surprise. And Houston's number 2. Maybe some people didn't think they'd be that high, but for the most part, it's like you look at the teams that are in the top 7 in the AFC. It's like, yeah, okay. But in the NFC, Washington is number 2 right now. Atlanta's number 3. Arizona's number 4. And Minnesota's number 6.
Yeah. Yeah, Minnesota's number 6.
Yeah, so the Rams would be out right now if the playoffs started today. The 49ers would be out, and so would the Cowboys.
And the Cardinals would be in.
Yeah.
As division winner as of right now.
Yes.
As of right now. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I'm looking at it, and,
Tampa Bay would be out also.
Tampa, they're 4-4. They lost in a row. And they're severely banged up, too. No, you're right, man. I mean, I look at Washington. Clearly, I think, the biggest surprise in the NFC, Minnesota. I'm looking at the NFC North. You got 3 teams that might make the play. They might get 3 representatives, Whitey. You got the division.
Theoretically get 4, I think, but it'd be tough.
It'd be real. And my Eagles would have to, collapse a little bit. Well. I think NFC East, if it, based on what it stands now, Washington and Philly gets in. Atlanta out of the South and Arizona out of the West. I just don't buy what's happening in the NFC West. Like, the Niners are clearly.
You think the cream's still going to rise?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Arizona is a solid team. But how about this with Arizona? They're a minus 27 differential. They've been outscored. Their defense has given up 205. San Francisco's defense given up. San Francisco's a plus 28. You know, how about Detroit thanks to this last win? They're a plus 100 through 6 games or whatever it is.
What that says to me, and everyone knows this, is there's a number of ways they can beat you.
Defensively and, making up with the loss of Aiden Hutchinson still, offense is now clicking as well. I look at Detroit. Do you believe Green Bay is still a threat?
A threat to make the playoffs.
NFC Championship?
I don't think so. I don't think they get that far.
Damn. Really?
They barely beat Jacksonville yesterday.
Yeah.
And I know that, Jordan Love got hurt. So
he got hurt.
That's another issue going forward. And I guess the news on his groin today, not that I'm overly concerned with the state of Jordan Love's groin, but the news was pretty good. But, obviously that's something that can linger.
Yeah.
The other thing too,
Jordan Love's groin on there on your rundown there.
No, I can talk to you about
girth. The other thing too, fellas, real quick is the NFC North really hasn't played each other yet. So Green Bay still has 5 in conference, in division games. So do the Lions. Also, remember the Lions have the Texans. They also have the Bills, and they have the 49ers as well. So we're getting ready to see some of these teams like the Vikings, the Lions, and the Packers, which is the NFC North. They're getting ready to have to start to play each other. So all those are good-looking records, shiny records. Yeah, they're getting ready to drop.
Yeah. Jay, speaking of shiny records, how are we doing on our picks? Can you lead us through our picks for this evening?
Of course I can.
Let's do it.
Of course I can.
I think you're leading the pack.
You think?
According to my unofficial.
Unofficial probably should be official. We had this week, fellas, coming in. Remember, Drapes was leading by 1 game over me and Whitey. Overall standings, I don't have it off the top of my head. As far as this week, we had a guest picker, which we will, of course, we started last week. This week we'll continue that as well. That guest picker, that would be Emran Pilati of True Sports Cars. Let's just say he came up in the rear. He had 7 wins, and he also picked his upset, which was, I want to say, the Eagles. Yep. So he has 8 overall. I'll make sure to get M's pick as far as today. As far as us three, Drapes, you are bringing up the rear. You got 7 games. You got the Lions, the Falcons, the Eagles, the Bills, which was your lock, so you got an extra point there. The Denver Broncos, your guy Bo Nix, who you've been riding with all year. Jay Daniels and the Commanders on the Hail Mary win, and you got the 49ers. So you got 7 games plus your lock. You're at 8 right now.
I'm at 8. Yeah.
You're at 8.
Yeah.
So you got to bring up the rear here. Whitey, you are at 2nd right now. You had the Lions, the Jags, the Cards, the Falcons, the Eagles, which was your upset, the Bills, the Chargers, Bo Nix, Denver Broncos, the 49ers. You got 9 games right plus your upset, which was the Eagles. So you're at 10. Of course,
10? Wow.
Let me
Jay, you better than that.
Not enough.
Let me clear my throat here. I got the Lions, the Browns, the Cardinals, the Eagles, the Bills, which was my lock, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Denver Broncos, the Washington Commanders, which was my upset, and the 49ers. So I got 10 games right plus 2 on the extra. I'm sitting at 12.
Wow.
Nice week.
That's impressive. There. I can't do anything to catch up.
In theory, you could if you and I are different.
And I do what did I do, Jay? A lock or an upset?
You did a lock, so you need an upset. You have not called an upset. You need the Giants.
Whitey can get me here, though. He can get me. He can box me in.
Yeah. So I'll go first.
Okay.
As of tonight,
what's the line? Is it? It's 6.
It is 6. As of tonight, the Giants are on the road getting 6 against Pittsburgh Steelers. Russ Wilson had a fantastic game last week, fellas. Pretty much got to cover a touchdown. Daniel Jones might not get the quick hook. Hey, listen, you're a Saquon Barkley fan at the moment, so maybe you might want to rock with the Giants. I'll go first. I'll take the Steelers in the 6th at home. Monday night, I just see Pittsburgh getting the win. Whitey, you can go second.
Yes, and I'm with you, Jay. I think the Giants' offensive line is a bit compromised, and I think the Steelers going to wreak havoc there. So I'm going. That's a little reluctant there. 6 points a lot in today's NFL. I'm going with the Steelers as well. Drapes.
I really got to go with the Giants tonight. Like,
you don't have to.
Of all teams.
If you look big picture,
you can take the loss for the week.
Best standings at the end of the year. Yeah.
Oh, take the L. Yeah, but just so we got a season award too.
Oh,
keep it track. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That ain't no fun though. Give me the Giants, baby. I'm taking Giants in the point.
6.
And what do I say? My upset.
That'll be your upset of the week. Yes.
Yeah.
So Drapes and I'd be tied if that comes through, right?
You are correct. That would make it a push, and no one would lose this week. Yep.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
not trying to.
Okay.
I play to win the game. I'm not trying to lose anything.
Okay. All right.
Give me the G-Men, baby. Yeah, I know you guys. You guys suckered me into it.
No, I just know as an Eagles fan,
right? I got to pick
thing
the
to do
freaking
is
Giants.
pick
Oh
New
my
York
God!
Giants. All right, thank you, Jay. Wow, what a week Jay had, huh?
No, he was on fire. And somebody said the Raiders didn't win. Why did Jay count the Raiders? We do them on the point spread.
Yes,
on the point spread.
9. The spread was 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they covered that. So
yeah, and it was 27-13, and the Chiefs had it. It's like, there
they go.
Oh man, the Raiders went
Right.
right down the field and scored.
Oh, man.
Yeah, when we come back, more on the Kings tonight and the Portland Trail Blazers, where the Kings are right now, and how do they light the beam once again? It's next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves. But don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
The future of cool, comfortable sleep is here. Introducing the new Sleep Number Climate Cool Smart Bed. The only smart bed in the world that actively cools and effortlessly adjusts to both of you. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. It actively cools to keep you cool and comfortable throughout the night. Save on smart beds now during our fall sale, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
I think the dining room table is one of the most important pieces of furniture in a home. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. The dining room is not only where families share meals prepared with love for relatives and guests, but also where the warm conversations remind us why those around our table are so important to us. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is offering more than 150 new dining tables during their in-stock dining sale. All dining room furniture is on sale, including tables, chairs, hutches, and buffets. You can choose from casual to formal and in between. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings so when that doorbell rings and your company is waiting, you can be proud to seat them around your new dining room with the distinctive pieces of furniture that you'll love for their individuality today and you'll treasure for memories you'll have for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
They do not know what Sacktown brings. When on the low, that's a Sacktown thing. Talking about us, it's a bounce out thing. Must they forgot we some Sacramento Kings host.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Most Kings fans, based on what I saw on X after the loss to the Lakers, many Kings fans, if not most Kings fans, wanted to blame that loss on Mike Brown and on Kevin Herter. To drive guys here, get ready for the Kings and the Blazers, and fans are going to fan, and we all do it. So I'm not trying to shame anybody for feeling that way. But I think when you break it down, I don't think those were really the issues. First of all, as far as Kevin Herter goes, Kevin Herter shot the ball well. He needs to continue to play that way. He needs to, as we said earlier, Drapes, he probably needs to continue to play better than that. But that was encouraging. You just look at his, plus minus in the box score, and it's easy to go, well, look, that was terrible. So he was the reason they lost, and it's just not accurate.
No, not at all. I thought he played well. Plus minus is what it is, but it's not an accurate representation of
his
impact.
It clearly is not.
Right,
on
one game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just one game. And, he wasn't trying to guard LeBron James. He didn't lock him up, try to lock him up.
I always say hello to officers of the law.
Do you really? All right. What that criminal record you trying to make up with? You worried that they might come messing with you and stuff? Hi, Mr. Officer. How you doing? Nothing going on over here. Like, you're a little guilty over there. You seem guilty. But Kevin Herter's fine, man. I was encouraged by what we saw Saturday. I mean, what do you have? 3 threes, I think it was.
3 for 7.
Yeah, 3 for 7. And, the fact that he knocked him down, man, he made some.
4 for 7, pardon me.
Oh, put some respect on his name, Whitey. 4 for 7. That's what I'm talking about. And so, in the whole scheme of things, they lost the game, yes, but going forward, that's an encouraging sign.
By the way, I want to thank you. Speaking of box scores, because you've inspired me to do something. I started this after the last game. I know how you're always giving me a hard time about box scores. Box score bits. I'll have it on X now after every Kings game, sometimes with video. I plan to have some people, who cover the Kings on, and maybe some of the post-game audio. So thank you for that idea. Box score.
So what is this? Like, I'm trying, hold on.
Box score bits. And I just broke down the box score after the last game with 3 things on X. Maybe we'll go to YouTube.
It's not a video, or it is?
It wasn't the first time, but I'm planning. We're expanding.
Box score bits.
Box score bits is taking off. There's going to be a box score breakdown, but it's too many letters. I need those letters. I'm on X.
If this becomes successful, look for a lawsuit to come your way, big fella. Stealing my inspiration, if you will. No, but no, I like. So you're going to pick several things from the box score.
Things that jump out, the most important things.
Okay.
And the first thing I had.
Plus minus ain't none of one of them, right?
That's the thing. I said Kevin Herter minus 29. It just does not matter.
All right, good. All right.
And I think there's a lot of people coming around to that. So I think we're getting there.
So this one, you're going to be on X? I got to follow you here.
That's where we're going to start.
I don't know if I follow you on X here.
I think you see a lot of stuff. Maybe,
but I blocked you. But no, I'm joking. I follow you. No, but okay. I'll look forward to that then.
Hopefully
tonight.
You'll be on at some point.
So how quickly is it?
I don't know. I've only done it once tonight. It's maybe quick or maybe somewhere I'm like,
I mean, is it immediate? Like after the game, I got to run to social media?
Yeah. In theory, yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Now, the other thing that people want to point to as a reason the Kings lost that game is that Mike Brown. His rotations don't make sense. He didn't play Keon Ellis. He didn't call timeouts. The timeouts is I think, a totally legitimate thing to say.
Right.
Would it have mattered? I don't know. Did it cost him the game? I doubt it. I understand that. The Keon Ellis thing, I understand the criticism. I don't know why he didn't play.
Yeah. And
you were saying that earlier.
Yeah, and I don't know if it would have made a huge difference. We just don't know. But, you're giving up, 44 points in the fourth, 21-0. You're being outscored. You would think, all right, change things up. Let me get a defensive guy in. For some reason, Mike Brown didn't go with it, and I'm sure he has his reasons. We'll see if anybody asked him about it during today's pregame. But, I mean, I feel like we just got beat by a generational player and a top 10, top 15 player who just happened to be clicking at the same time. Like, and what you've seen the first 2 games, and this is a problem the Kings have had, whether it's star players or the Dwop Reiths of the world. Once they get 2 or 3 buckets, it's hard to slow them down. And once LeBron started feeling good, like, this is an all-time great.
Those 2 long threes he made were like, really?
Yeah, he's feeling good. And so I don't care what defense you throw at him. Like, he's going to make them. You got to do your work before he gets to that point. And so that's the thing. And I go same thing against Anthony Edwards in the opener. You know, you did a good job first half on AE, but then he saw a couple go down. He turned it up another notch. You got to match that level, and we did in the first 2 games.
Yeah, the good things from Saturday were that they played with pace. They scored, it kind of cuts both ways. You score 127. It's like, yes, that's Kings basketball. And you're not able to win that game, even though you had that lead at the end of the third quarter. That's when that leaves you scratching your head a little bit and going, that's the type of game this team was built to win.
Yeah, and I would imagine, when you break down the tape, if you're Mike Brown, offensively, sure, there's some things, but the whole post-game tape got to be defensively, things they could have did better. And, I didn't see a lot of, like, and maybe I'm having revisionist history or something and I'm not remembering. I didn't see a whole lot of, like, just flat-out breakdowns, though, right? I don't know. I would love for people to let me know if it was a breakdown in defense or were the Lakers just that good at executing?
Lakers shot the ball really well. And, they're not a great three-point shooting team. And that's unusual for them to go 41%,
Well, what's unusual, too, is that they got up as many as they
34,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what J.J. Redick wants. He wants 36, 37. I think the Lakers this year, we can't compare them to previous years. I think this is an entirely different system that they're running in. This system isn't LeBron James dribbling, pounding the ball.
Ran some nice stuff again against the
That's
Kings.
what I'm saying,
Jay
bro.
doesn't like it when you and I say that.
No, this is a different team, man. And when I look at this Lakers team, they play harder than I've seen in recent years.
They're more connected.
Yeah, they're more connected. They're more of a team, and so they're going to be a tough out, I think. And so I don't think it's nothing to be embarrassed about losing this game the other night.
Nothing to be embarrassed about, but feel a lot better if you get a W tonight, Kings against the Portland Trail Blazers. How would you feel? Let's say you're Keon Ellis, okay, and you don't play against the Lakers, and the team has a meeting and they're talking about it, and you're Keon, you're sitting there, Mike Brown saying the defense has to get better. If you're Keon, how hard is that not to go?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's that's tough to swallow. And not only that, if I'm Keon and I'm talking about the way I'm feeling,
right,
not actually,
right,
but I need an explanation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering how come, and maybe you ask Coach, maybe you go to Mike, hey, Mike,
what do I need to do?
What do I need to do or something?
Yeah.
I was, but yeah, because I got to imagine he had to be shocked. This ain't Steve Kerr telling Jason Tatum beforehand, we ain't going to play you tonight, or Tyrese. Like, I guarantee you, Keon came to the gym ready to play. And that's honestly, you played sports. That's the worst feeling, bro. Expecting to play and never getting in.
It's just hard not to take that deeply personally.
Yeah, exactly. A quick story. I got into it. This was a summer league game. Our head coach was out. So he had like one of his former players filling in coaching, summer league game. My family, they were going on a trip down to, I think, Wildwood or Virginia Beach or something like that. And I said, no, I got to stay and play this game. It's a summer league game. I was used to playing, but this coach played all his favorite guys, like the filling guy, his boys, and people from his neighborhood. So I sat there all night and didn't even get any burn. I was heated, bro. And so, not saying Keon Ellis is heated, but it's a bad feeling, man. Bad. Yeah.
Do the Kings have a 3-point attempt target? Do we know what that is yet? We'll ask Drapes when we come back. Whitey's wish list coming up, too, as we head down the home stretch here. Game night, the Kings against Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation.
Call 800-838-8614. 800-838-8614. That's 800-838-8614.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Why choose Gonzalez Law Offices? Well, for criminal defense, expungements, sexual harassment, wrongful termination. The best thing you can do is to retain legal representation from an experienced defense attorney in Sacramento who helps you obtain the best possible results. At Gonzalez Law Offices, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has remained undefeated from 2016 through 2019 for jury trials, and this year will be no exception. Contact him at 916-304-9187 or at saclegaldefense.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's October does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Tell you what, Drapes, I'm a little worried about the high flyer. He's usually, by the time we get to this segment.
I see him down there. He's down on the floor chopping it up.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's on his way. He's coming.
All right, good. Because normally, he'd been sitting back there for a while.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we take you up to game night. Scott Marshall, the high flyer, Henry Turner. Before we get any further here from the Goal One Center, I just got to say, I know I'm not the first to say this, but that Dwayne Wade statue was like, it's just an embarrassment.
Wayne Jones.
Maybe it was Wayne Jones. That was like the worst thing I've ever. Is that the worst statue you've ever seen? And then poor Dwayne Wade's got to look at and act like he's excited.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
It's pretty bad.
It was Antoine Walker.
Yeah, it was. But somebody said he approved it though. But I think it was like when it was being sculpted, he saw it. Okay, it looks good, but the finished product turned out awful.
Yeah, there must be. How sometimes we say, oh, there's not enough good quarterbacks. There's a quarterback crisis.
Not enough good sculptors.
There's a sculptor crisis, I think. Right? Because that was awful.
Yeah, that was bad. And that's a Heat legend. Greatest player in Miami.
Yeah.
history.
And that thing's going to be there a while.
Yeah, that's poor guy. And I saw some video of him and, just the look on his face, when they unveiled it and everything.
Yeah.
Do you make him do it again, fellas?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes.
Who paying for that, Jay? Who paying for that?
Wade could pay for it if he wanted to.
He should have just looked at it, turned to the cameras, and gone thumbs down.
That ain't it. That ain't it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Yeah.
It's substandard right there.
Now you know what though? They should redo it.
Yes.
Mickey Harrison, the owner, got enough money. Carnival Cruise Line guy. Chalk that one up to, you know what? We messed up. Our bad. Let's get somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's. I wonder if they do that. Like, it's that bad where they should seriously.
But isn't it
consider
that bad?
It is.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's that bad. They should seriously consider that.
You know, it's one thing if you get like a bobblehead of a player and you go, it doesn't really look like him. That's one thing.
Right.
There's a freaking statue of a Heat legend
that lives out in front of the arena.
Yes.
Forever. Yeah, that's embarrassing, man. And
I'd almost rather have the Piglet statue out here than that. Almost.
Just throw up a plaque or something instead of that, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, they got to redo that. I'm with you on that. They got to redo that.
Very unfortunate and ultimately disrespectful to the great legend of Wade Jones.
Yeah, Wayne. I had to show that to my kids because we were talking about the statue, and I was like, hey, it gets worse, kids. Like, even the mayor down there didn't know. Compio was like, oh, that was D-Wade? Yeah. Whitey says it looked like Antoine Walker instead.
Somebody posted that and had a picture of Antoine Walker, and it's like, I think that's actually what was up.
That's what they should do. Redo it and then give that one to Antoine Walker. He's a former Miami Heat player. Let him take that one
home. Absolutely. Now, Drapes, we were talking about this last week, and I know you went down to L.A. with the team.
Yeah, went down
we
to
were
LA.
talking about the Kings, the 3-point attempts target. Last year, we know because Jay Triano said it on our show and Mike Brown talked about after games, we want to get up about 40 a game. Do we know where the Kings are? 2 games in. We had, 20-something in the first game, and then they were at 34. Yeah, in the last game. So do we know yet what the 3-point attempt target is for the Kings?
I think it's around 35. Mike Brown talked about it the other day. There's no specific instruction to his team to shoot 35 threes. I think ideally around 35 or upwards of 35. He said, you don't want to put that in the player's mind that, we got to get up shots, just shooting it just to, for the heck of shooting it. And so I think around 35 or 35 and up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we were talking earlier about giving away tickets. And my apologies. This is something we should have done already. So we're going to get it in now. ATL's biggest two-stepper, Ludacris, touching down in Wheatland next Saturday. Bumping the hits you know and love. So all you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number what, Drapes?
Ludacris, ATL, 4. Let's do 4.
Caller number 4 to score that pair of tickets to check out Ludacris Hard Rock Live on November 9th, courtesy of Live Nation. For more information, visit sackdownsports.com. So there you go. Good luck.
I know. I need those, man. I'm in town, too. I may have to.
There you go. Maybe we should
see if we got some. The station might have some, right, to give away.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they
do. Go to that.
Yeah. All right, Drapes. So what is your wish list for tonight before we get to Whitey's wish?
Oh, a Drapes wish list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish tonight to
see if we sync up here at all.
Well, I think you got to limit offensive rebounds. So I want to keep Portland under 11 offensive rebounds. How about that? That's what I wish for. And then I wish for
11.
Yeah,
that's kind of a lot, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh, okay. All right.
They had 22 yesterday against New Orleans. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was 22 last night. So I'm like, if you can get that cut in half,
have it.
Yeah, this is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league, and so give me under 11. Give me like 8 or something like that. And so,
all right.
And then go deeper into rotation. How about that, Whitey? That's my wish tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that or not. It depends how they.
We'll see. See. What you got?
Yeah. All right. This is Whitey's wish list for tonight, Game 3 of the new season.
You got music?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
Continue to play fast. Continue to push the pace, especially against a team that's playing their second game in 2 nights. And besides, that is Kings basketball, is it not?
That is, right?
Push the pace.
Push the pace. Don't be all slow and slogging it down with these guys. Run them out the gym tonight. I'm with you on that.
Number 2, Trey Lyles has to shoot the ball better.
What you looking for from Trey?
He just has to shoot the ball better than what? 1 for 6?
Yeah. 2 for 6 is good? Or you
2 for 6 is not good.
All right. I'm just
he's got to be, up near double digits in scoring.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this earlier. He's got to be a factor for this team, the way this roster is set up right now.
I'm with you.
He's got to play better. Maybe that's not fair with him coming off injury. He's got to play well, or else this team has a problem right now.
I'm with you. I want to come out of this game thinking Trey had a good game.
Yes.
Not Trey didn't play well again. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, they need him to. And then finally, as you said, you got to do a better job on the glass, which again, as you know, as anybody who knows basketball knows, rebounding and defense they're
go
all
hand in
part of
hand.
the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, because most of your successful defensive possessions end with a defensive rebound.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my wish list for tonight, Drapes. And you and I, we are in lockstep on at least a couple of those things.
Jay's funny. No, I'm with you though, man.
Like, get that Hall and Oates off of there.
I was like, hey, Hall and Oates, great Philadelphia band there. Like,
absolutely.
Put some respect on them. So those are my guys.
Yeah, I saw them right here in this building.
Did you really?
Just a couple of years ago.
Golden
Place
One?
was packed.
Shut up.
Yeah,
they got a lot of hits too.
They do.
They got a lot of hits.
Put some respect on their name.
All right, yeah, exactly. What's up, Sam? How you doing, baby? You good? Good seeing you, man. Our boy Sam right here.
Hey,
would invite him on, but don't want to piss off Carmichael Dave.
Dave said it's okay. Yeah,
I know, right?
All right, buddy. Good. Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it. You don't have a second fight, do you?
Oh, you can do it. Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
tell Sam what to
normally
do.
heard on the Jason Ross Show with Carmichael Dave, and making a special guest appearance with us from the Athletic, Sacramento basketball media legend, Sam Amick. Thank you for stopping by, Sam.
Gentlemen, thank you for having me. I didn't know y'all were live. I got the PG-13 language coming at you.
Oh, no worries. No worries, Sam. Hey, we were just running down our wish list for tonight. We each had a list. We had some of the same things, talking about better job on the glass tonight, continued to play fast, and Trey Lyles needs to play better. What do you think of those three things?
Those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good. Right. I mean, I've mentioned that I was listening coming in, and the other thing you guys talked about that definitely landed for me is that trap game type idea with the Blazers. Drapes, you were talking about these, the human part of the game where these guys don't know how bad they are yet.
Yeah, right. My dad used to tell me. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
And this Blazers team just took it to New Orleans, and the Kings. Again, it's crazy to say, hey, must win 3 games in, but the mood is going to be, pretty grim. If it's 0-3, so it's kind of a big night.
And you may have heard us say this, Sam. It's early. But late comes early in the West this year.
I like that. Yeah.
You like that line?
Yeah. The West is crazy. I mean, I wrote the other day, it's cliche to say it's wild. We say it every year, but it is incredibly deep. There's a ton of parity. You can't get behind. And it goes both ways, right? Like the Lakers, I talked to somebody from their shop yesterday, and it cracked me up like how excited they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't blame them
Yeah.
because they're 3-0, but it's still, the other human nature part is the 3-0 versus a 3-game winning streak in January. Those are two very different things.
Yeah.
So, but the West and the depth is the thing, especially, Minnesota with the Karl Anthony Towns trade. I don't know if I'm putting them in the top 4 anymore. And I'm starting to just feel like I was just in Denver. So I look at the Nuggets, they got issues.
Yeah.
It's just starting to really feel like OKC and everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, all the way through, and you got to win games.
Yeah, they look great so far. Yeah. What do you make of Keon Ellis not getting any burn the other day? Any reason you might know about or anything? He didn't play at all Saturday.
I don't have any intel there, and I'm surprised. Admittedly, I've not broken down their tape to see exactly how Kevin's playing, to see, schematically what might be going on. But the part, the backdrop that you guys are well aware of, that and why I'm a little surprised is that, going into the season, it seemed pretty clear that Mike Brown, he didn't know, Kevin Huerter's timeline, going in, and he just was speaking, very highly of Keon and the concept of giving De'Aaron Fox somebody next to him who could just help with the workload. I mean, I know we always make the Warriors comparison with Steph and Clay, but Clay covered for Steph all those years defensively, and as good a defender as Fox can be. It's 82 games, and it seemed like the concept that Mike was excited about was Keon being that guy. In fact, somebody had put it to me this way, brought up an old Spurs comparison where if you, in a vacuum, judged Manu Ginobili against Bruce Bowen, who are you picking? Well, obviously Manu's the better player, but Bruce would start because for that team, that's what was more effective. And that was the kind of the framing from the organization coming into the season, and obviously it's gone a different way.
What do you make so far, Sam Amick joining us, I know it's very early, but of the way DeMar is fitting in with things?
I mean, good moments. The fourth quarter stuff is interesting.
Yeah.
Good problems to have.
Yeah.
but it's not even just the two guys. I mean, you've got Malik out there who can hit a big shot. The closing aspect and finding a rhythm of, who's going to take it and are you going to defer? Who's going to, the communication's got to be worked out on that front. Mostly positive across the board. He's fit in well. You guys hit on this. The Minnesota and Laker games, they were tight. They were in those games. They looked good. They just didn't get it over the finish line.
Sam, when you look at what we saw Saturday from the Lakers, is this sustainable? Like, are they going to be better than a lot of people think? Like, what are you thinking about?
I don't know yet. I mean, I wrote about AD the other day because I went to their season opener, and essentially the obvious that this is an incredible blueprint for them if this is who he's going to be. He's now done it 3 games in a row. History tells us, I mean, first of all, at this level, he's not going to sustain it. But then LeBron had a big game in their third game. I don't know how good they're going to be, but JJ Redick is getting incredibly positive reviews early on.
Yeah.
And even the stuff, I don't know how much this matters. I'm sure you saw the story of Baron Davis running into him at the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
You see this?
At the car wash there. Yeah, and he's breaking down film.
Yeah, and his thing, I guess JJ explained later, because he's got a family and he's learning how to handle the schedule of being a head coach, that they had a back-to-back and he was trying to get to one of his kids' games or something, and Baron sees him at the gas station with his laptop out breaking down film. I mean, maybe a little bit of a corny story. All these coaches work hard.
Yeah.
But, the stuff when you see people, and this is not me, people who make a living really diving into the X's and O's are saying pretty complimentary things about the job JJ is doing so far and directing their talent, and they have a lot of it. So I think they'll be good.
Sam, speaking of whether something's sustainable or not, how about these minutes in the last game for the Kings starters? 37, 39, 36, 26 for Herter, 41 for De'Aaron Fox. I mean, that's not sustainable, is it? What is Mike Brown going to be able to do about that?
Probably has to temper it a little bit. You guys hit on this. The chasing wins thing is tough.
Yeah.
Don't get them.
Right.
And Kyle, everything you said about guys wanting to know, how much time they're going to get. I think that is real. I don't know how it evolves from here, but it's a tough punch to the gut early on that he's going to have to adjust to. But Mike he's in year 3 of this, right? So like he was intense on day 1 of year 1 with the Kings, and his patience, I think, is probably shorter than ever. His ambition is higher than ever. And that can spark, success, and that can push you in a good place. But it can be intense while you're trying to get it there.
Who do you think has sort of had to adjust their role the most with DeMar? Like, because I look at Domas in LA, he did what he does.
Yeah.
It might be Fox though, Sam. I feel like Fox is trying to figure out his way how to play alongside with DeMar.
No, that's fair. I was admittedly going to go the Malik route, although I don't have Malik's numbers in front of me.
Okay.
Because it just, in terms of like line of succession or pecking order.
Yeah.
That's where Malik was always one of those guys that was comfortable being the 6th man for you because he always got to eat. And, when you have DeMar DeRozan on the team, and, but you're right, it starts with Fox. And then, if Fox isn't eating like he normally does, then certainly Malik's not going to be. And I think they'll work it out. Again, I loved the DeRozan addition. I thought they got better in the offseason. And at the same time, basketball, we see this every year. It's such a nuanced game where you add talent on paper. You feel like, the level was raised, but it's the puzzle pieces have to fit.
Right.
It takes a while to get there sometimes.
Yeah. Sam and I know about puzzle pieces. Drapes, we used to have, I think I may have mentioned this to you. We used to have
tell this story.
a basketball team for the radio station.
Yeah.
We were 2 of the biggest puzzle pieces on that team.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys had skills back in the day?
Yeah.
All right.
We did not. I didn't get a lot of
We won a
playing time
game.
in that one game, man.
Y'all won a game? Y'all won
Shelton High School, I think it was.
Handicap Whitey's game for me. Like, what kind of player is he?
I was more worried about Whitey's coaching, he was in control of the minutes, and
Oh no,
I didn't get enough. I thought I was out there as like a local name. I was going to flex a little bit.
I didn't like your attitude, Sam.
Oh man, that's a sore subject there.
What that boiled down to. We were talking earlier, speaking of the puzzle pieces, with the Blazers play-by-play guy. And, we asked him about, hey, at the deadline, they got veterans, they got young guys. Are they going to move people? And he says, you'd probably think they would. I know it's very early, Sam, and this may just be your opinion more than any info, but do you expect the Kings to be active, or at least looking to be active in terms of picking up maybe some wing help, some front court help?
I do expect them to be active. I don't know to what degree. They obviously have a size problem that they need to continue to analyze and look, for candidates. Like Jeremy Grant's a name that always pops up.
Yeah.
I actually think it's less about Jeremy himself anymore and more about what that prototype tells you, because his contract probably doesn't fit what they're doing anymore. They'll continue to scour. They were ambitious over the summer. They looked at stuff, obviously, like the Laurie Markkinen stuff and the Zach LaVine stuff.
Did they come close to anything on on draft night? Were they close?
Not that I'm aware.
Okay.
There's still I should get to the bottom of this. There was confusion about Kyle Kuzma. There was stuff around the league that was like, oh, this is really getting close. And then they certainly pushed back on that, did not claim that was the
Interesting.
case.
Thank you.
That's the closest, the one that comes to mind. And as you guys know, Kuzma's been tied to them forever. It didn't make a lot of sense to be doing DeRozan and Kuzma.
Right.
You talk about guys having to eat.
Right.
That's too much. But it's an active front office, but one that is pretty measured, right? Like we go all the way back to the Halliburton Sabonis trade. At that time, the fans were getting restless and people were looking at this front office like, man, when are they going to actually do something? And then boom, you have a pretty monumental move that changed the direction of the franchise. So I do trust, and you talk to people around the league, like they do their homework and they're looking at all the different scenarios, but they don't want to, one wrong move and you're taking a step back.
Yeah. Pardon me, Drake.
Yeah, go ahead.
Follow that up, because we were talking about this. Fans, they call us, they call, you guys in the morning. They say, oh, they need more size. Why don't they do something? But the point is, they know that, right? The front office recognizes that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're looking at it. It's just not as easy to do as we as fans like to think it is.
No question. Like here's a comparison that comes to mind. My colleague at The Athletic, Jovan Buha, covers the Lakers. He and I had actually talked about this recently. He shared that the Lakers have interest in Walker Kessler in Utah, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same thing. The Lakers know they need size. AD doesn't like playing the 5. That would be perfect for the Lakers. Well, guess what? The price tag is enormous.
Yeah.
Like they have no interest in moving him.
Really?
And so
Danny Ainge is jacking up the price on
imagine
somebody?
that. Wow. I kind of love, I don't know if the listeners will find this interesting. This Danny Ainge chapter, and this is your old life in Boston, just cracks me up. Like, I'm going to go get a ring. My reputation is going to be intact as an executive. And then I feel like the Utah chapter is all gravy. I'm going to go just take my players and put the price tag as high as could be. See what kind of idiots might actually, give me that price tag. And but he's a made man already who's trying to, make the Jazz thing work.
Yeah, Sam joining us here. Sam, it's still early. But are there some teams that already are concerned might hit the panic button? Like you were out in Denver. Do they got some bigger issues than just the 0-2 record? Like, are they scuffling right now? What's happening?
The vibe check, as the kids say, was not great.
Really?
Honestly, it wasn't. I mean, I wrote a little bit about it. You have strange energy from Jamal Murray. You would think he would be in a good place. He just got paid $205 million. The Olympics experience wasn't great for him. Obviously, it was really bad. He looked bad. And he's had a couple moments early on, but has not played very well. Joker, the other night, I'm sure you guys saw when you come out after that game against OKC and you say we are not a good shooting team, and essentially he says the only good shooters are Jamal and Michael Porter Jr.
Ooh.
I've actually changed the way at first, and I wrote this that inevitably points a finger at the front office, and that's still, I think, fair and accurate. The more I've thought about it, I feel like Joker was probably in a political passive aggressive way talking about Russell Westbrook, among others. Like, how do you publicly send a message to Russ? Like, I'm not going to call you out by name, but we're already not a great shooting team. We can't have you shooting 6 threes like he did in that game. And he hasn't played well. You can go all the way down the line. There's, this was in my piece, Calvin Booth and Michael Malone, kind of widely known to have a little bit of friction between them, just not always seeing eye to eye on the roster. And Michael, as you guys know from being here, is about as fiery and intense as can be. So strange vibes there. The other one that comes to mind is Milwaukee, because they actually had good energy coming into the year. I was around them in training camp and wrote quite a bit about them, but it's not translating. They dropped a couple games. I think they're playing tonight.
Boston tonight. They play Boston tonight.
Yeah, and I think, are they 1-2 now?
Yeah, they're up by 3 right now against Boston. I can see that way over there.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it says 3.
Good vision
46,
for our
48.
age.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. That's good, yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's another one. Chris Middleton's been out, but I talked to Giannis in camp about the what if of like, you guys have a lot at stake this season. He was pretty candid about it. It's pro sports. Like, so I don't know what it looks like on the other side if we don't play well. So, you know, that's what's on the line for them.
Sam Mick, we'll let you get to your, I don't know, you're going to go downstairs and eat or?
Scout time, baby. Got to go down and talk to the front office
some people.
See what's going on. For us, it's honestly pregame is almost more important than postgame. So
right.
But great seeing you guys.
All right,
yeah.
Doug.
Thanks.
Thanks for jumping on, baby.
You got it.
Yeah. Sam Mick, you can hear him mornings on the Jason Ross and
The
others
Jason Ross show.
Huh? Thank you, Sam.
All right, Sam. Oh man. All right, big fella. How you feeling? You confident? You feeling good?
Oh, yeah. This is Beam will be lit tonight, no question. Real quick, I just want to point out again, you know, Drapes and I, we don't always agree on things, but we're partners, and there was some things that were said about the broadcast in LA that Katie said something about Drapes, and she called him out, and it's ridiculous because it didn't actually happen.
Right.
I know Drapes caught some grief for that, and it was totally unwarranted because what people were talking about was not actually said. And I know because I was watching the game, so I just wanted to point that out.
Man.
Yeah, there was nothing at all to it. So bless you, Drapes. You had a great call.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as tonight goes, where can we catch you tonight, Drapes?
Pre and post game tonight, big fella. Pre and post game, halftime as well. Then hopping on the plane and headed to Utah for tomorrow's game. So I'll be on the call for that.
From Utah, right?
Yeah, with you guys from Utah tomorrow.
How are you feeling about tonight?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm watching my guy Kevin Herter warm up out here. Watch this, Whitey. Watch this. All right, get them all out now. And then Anthony Simons, meanwhile, is draining, not even touching that, man. That dude's a good player. It's going to be a fun game tonight. I think.
Look at the high flyer. He's ready to go. Stick
He's
around.
being patient over there.
Yes, he is. Game night is next. Scott Marsh and the high flyer getting you ready for the Kings and the Blazers on Sacktown Sports.
Big women energy. Decided. Sacramento Kings. Let's go. Big wins, big stats.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your